Welcome, Ultrers and Switchy Sisters alike, to episode 24 of the weekly episodic gaming-adjacent livestream podcast show. This is Switch to Ultra. For the first time ever, on a Saturday day, not only is it daytime and the sun is out, I mean, it has been the last couple of times, that's just how
Friday.
Seasons work. But it is, oh my god, you're fried, it's right, you're fried. I'm losing it a little bit. Alright, to be honest, I am very tired. I woke up for this direct, and we're going to do the pod, and we're going to talk about the direct, and then after that, I'm going back to bed. It's all in one unit, but you're right, it is Friday, that's crazy. Alright, well, regardless, the reason we're doing this episode today, instead of the upcoming Monday, aside from having something planned on Monday, I'm very tired, is because we wanted to do a show that is the fallout of the Nintendo Direct. Because sometimes we get mini directs, sometimes we get partner showcases, sometimes we get individual directs of video games, but I feel like the actual Nintendo Directs we only get, I mean, normally I would say 3 times a year, but this one we've only gotten, well, I guess we did get 3 this year for counting the Switch 1 Direct and the Switch 2 Direct as different directs. I don't think we're going to get another direct until February, so you might as well hunker down and talk about this. You know, it comes around every September. It's September 12th.
You really think
somewhere.
so?
That it'll be until February? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Huh.
Because now we have all the release dates for the games that come out this year.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just wondering, like, I mean, I would imagine that sooner rather than later they'd want to go back to the every 3 months kind of thing. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not like, I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking, like,
I mean,
shit,
even before this year, it was never specifically every 3 months. It was always February, June, September. Like from 2018 to about 2023. It was always February, June, September. So because of that conventional wisdom, I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to be September. You know, when we were in the summer, like, oh, we're not going to get one until September. And then we did. I have to assume that the next direct will still be in February because a lot of the new games they showed off come out early 2026, I believe. Like, even Tomodachi Life, which we knew about, it still said spring. So I think whatever we see in a February direct will be like, oh, these are the big things coming out in 2026. Yeah. I didn't think we would be destined to see the announcements of games that would come out later 2026. But the only hanging chad left was, I suppose, Metroid Prime 4, just waiting on that release date. And I guess we didn't have a release date. I think it's likely that we might get directs dedicated to individual games. I think it's even possible that we might just get a Metroid Prime 4 direct. Because it's been a while since we got information.
There's enough time for that.
And the information we got in this, it like in the grand scheme of the direct, it was a very short amount of time. So going into this,
do any narration, they just kind of showed us a bike.
Yeah, and the bike's name, by the way, is what's it called? The Viola bike, and the bike is called Viola, and the suit is called the Viola suit. So it says that on the amiibo text in the direct, but what I'm looking at right now is an official render on the Nintendo Today app, and I wish there was. I get the point of the app, right? I just wish there was a browser version because there's no real way I could show all the things that are on the app aside from me just screenshotting it. So I do need to remember to check it every day because what it's showing right now is just pictures of Mario from Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Bros. Mario, and then the Viola bike and the Viola suit, and concept art for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I guess Golden Sun music. It's interesting stuff, but if we are going to have... We compared Kirby Air Riders in the Kirby Air Riders episode of Switch to Ultra to Smash Bros, like the loadout for that, especially now that we're getting another direct that'll likely show off new characters and new courses, and we can update our chart that we had, that it will have the Nintendo Today app. The Nintendo Today app is sort of going to act like the Smash blog, where it'll update, we're like, oh, this item's in the game, like every day or every week or something like that. I just wish it was more convenient to display on screen. Because right now it's just on my phone.
Getting a clean, nice PNG. I feel like having that is good for just having YouTubers, having people who talk about the game, just making it easier to have like supplemental material.
Because at the end of the day, I could just screenshot it and then send it to my drive and then download it to my computer. But that's just extra unnecessary steps that we don't really need.
There's gonna be artifacts too. That's the thing. Yeah.
So what did you think overall of this direct?
Fine, it's a direct. I mean, I think as usual, people are saying that it's disappointing, but I mean, I'm kind of.
Well, people really got their hopes up because they said it would be an hour long.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not what I expected from an hour-long direct. I didn't think it was going to be like, oh, an hour of nonstop announcement. I think the likely thing that was going to happen, which actually didn't end up happening, was like it was like a 40-minute direct, and then 20 minutes of it are dedicated to like a game people don't really care about, like over-explaining it. Like, oh, this is where the settings option is. But it wasn't that. It actually honestly flew by for an hour-long direct.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think it was more because of the Mario stuff. You know, they're kind of
Yeah.
they're having like these promotional spots where like the head of Illumination is giving, you know, a little speech. You know, I think that's what was making it longer than usual. Though to be honest, it wasn't even like almost 60 minutes. It was closer to 70 minutes than 60 minutes. So this is an unprecedented direct in terms of how long it was.
I wonder if they just like attached whatever they had planned for the Mario. Like maybe they in 2020 there was the September direct for Mario's 35th anniversary was just like a 17-minute Mario direct where it's going over all the Mario games. So I think it's possible that at some point they had like the Mario direct and then they had the Nintendo direct and they're like, oh, let's just put them together. It makes more sense to put them together because I feel like the thing that puts it over the hour is the Mario stuff at the beginning, as you were saying.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. Because especially because I'm pretty sure they still the Mario Tennis, if I recall correctly, wasn't part of the Mario presentation. So
yeah,
I think that was a conscious decision.
And I think the Yoshi part was maybe later in the direct as well. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but I was wearing the Smash Fit for it just because, you know, I let people. I didn't think it was genuinely gonna be there, but I wanted to be more safe than sorry. But I think on this show thus far, I mean, our bingo card was correct. We were right in saying that there wouldn't be a direct until September. And I don't want to speak for you, but I on the show have been saying pretty vehemently that people getting their hopes up for a new 3D Mario are going to be a little disappointed because I imagine Nintendo views this new Donkey Kong game as the 3D Mario. So I let...
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I agree. I mean, I think my most optimistic guess right now is maybe something in like a couple years, but yeah, I think Donkey Kong is meant to fill a role. Also, I really have to step away for a second. I have to use the bathroom.
All right, no worries. I will bring this up to the chat then, the Switch 2 Ultra regulars, because we have the little intro animation at the beginning. And when I first created that intro animation, it cycles through all the big games. It goes through... Let me actually look back at this. So it's like, so it's like Zelda, 3D Mario, Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, and Smash Bros. There may be more to that. I guess those were the big five, I presume. And since Mario Kart World had released, we removed or replaced the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe portion of that intro and replaced it with Mario Kart World. And for the longest time, I thought after Donkey Kong Bonanza's release, I was like, maybe we should replace the Mario Odyssey section with Donkey Kong Bonanza, since I view that as the new 3D Mario. However, I was getting some pushback and hearing people say, no, there's going to be 3D Mario, it's any day now. But the fact that that was Mario's 40th anniversary, that was the final direct of the year, the final full Nintendo direct, I presume. I don't think... I mean, I agree with what Switchy said. I think it's going to be a while before we get a 3D Mario. So I think that maybe it's time to replace that Mario Odyssey portion of the intro with the Donkey Kong Bonanza portion. Just any background there. We do have information on Donkey Kong Bonanza. We'll go over the directs, I suppose, when Switchy steps back. But where we are right now... By the way, this episode of Switch 2 Ultra, as a Twitch streamer, as a part-time or like part-time, like half Twitch streamer, I mostly do YouTube. I try not to be like one of those streamers that like the content they produce is just reacting to other people, reacting to the internet, not really adding anything to the conversation. But most of the Switch 2 Ultra episodes prior have been me explaining, displaying, bringing information to the show. preemptively. But we only had a couple hours between the end of the direct stream and this episode of Switch to Ultra. So instead of this being a presentation, this is going to be more in the field. Instead of me presenting information, it's going to be us hunting down information, gathering it together, you know? I thought maybe we'd have a bigger game that we'd be able to analyze, and maybe we will be able to analyze the direct further, because the first reaction is exciting, but oh my god, I'm really fighting this burp here. The first reaction is exciting, but now we actually have time to go through the direct. However, before we get into the direct, the information that I actually woke up to this morning, and I hope I don't accidentally flash anyone on stream, but I'm just scrolling on Twitter. I couldn't find the original leak or the original image, but apparently before this direct, because the direct confirmed that the new Mario movie is going to be titled the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We can talk about that when we get into the direct. That Old Spice apparently has a line of tie-in Super Mario Galaxy movie characters on their deodorant, spray, cologne. I don't know. I'm not an Old Spice guy. I honestly just use basic Dove shit. But you know what? It makes me smell like lavender. That there are renders that were leaked by this Old Spice. Of course, the logo is the same. So, I didn't even think about this in the Super Mario Galaxy movie reveal. That, yeah, we didn't see Yoshi. The big tease at the end, or the post-credit scene of the original Super Mario Bros. Movie. Crazy that they're immediately jumping into Galaxy. But to be fair, with the Sonic movies, they did Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and then Sonic Adventure 2. The popular one from the 2000s. Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite games of all time, so obviously this means a lot to me. And we can get into opinions when we get into the direct. But there are individual renders. One, obviously, the main one is Yoshi. We don't know who voices Yoshi, if Yoshi even has a voice, or if it's just going to be Yoshi sounds. But this is, I imagine, what the design is going to look like in the movie. And on this Luigi stick... Okay, no, these are deodorants. I think, right? Aluminum-free underneath and body spray. Scent intensity. Brooklyn bounce. It's going to smell like Brooklyn. I guess he does spawn there. And desert detour. What's interesting about these locations specifically is Brooklyn obviously is a location we've seen in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and that's where we know Yoshi is, so they're probably going to go back there. But desert detour, and it also has one of these little candy skull guys from Mario Odyssey. Since this is the research episode, let me look this up. Hold on. Super Mario Odyssey skeleton. Toasterian. Can I... Yes, this is a Toasterian. That's what we're looking at. That's exactly what... Oh, ignore that. What that thing is right there, meaning that we're going to incorporate bits of Super Mario Odyssey as well. So that's 2 confirmations for the movie. I think these are the only ones we've seen. But we also... This is just a post about the leak itself. And we see Mario in his Mario movie render. He's hitting the galaxy pose, where like his arms are extended and he's flying. This can't be the leak, right? New Mario movie is called Super Mario Galaxy movie. This isn't an official Old Spice post. Art looks
kind of weird.
I mean, I think it's real. No, go ahead.
Well, no, it's funny. The Mario Galaxy thing, I feel like it's been rumored that it was going to be Mario Galaxy movie for a while. I don't know why. Not just the Old Spice leak. I feel like that's been kind of in the conversation for months.
I mean, it does feature a Luma in the first movie, so I imagine it's going to be tied up into it. But no, I don't know.
Well, I think again, also these are just in the first movie you have I forget who said it, but it was at the scene where they're at that fire flower kind of grotto or like field or whatever, and they kind of imply, oh, there might be worlds beyond this or whatever. I think that's probably why I've always
there might be a Super Mario world. Yeah, there's a lot. Well, again, like these are the only screenshots I'm seeing. I don't know who these are coming from, but I don't think it's impossible for an extended brand like this to... Okay, what is this? Old Spice bottles were real the whole time. I mean, these are the listings of them. Space Mischief, Cosmic Quest, Desert Detour, and Brooklyn Bounce. So we see Desert Detour and Brooklyn Bounce here. So it sounds like we're going to space. I guess we could just jump into the direct itself. All the individual trailers have been split on the Nintendo of America YouTube channel. And maybe we could watch them like that. Well, let's watch this in order, because I think the first reveal, starting with the new direct, is Mario Galaxy plus Mario Galaxy 2. And that's not the first thing we see in the actual direct proper. Because I do have some thoughts on the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Or by that, I mean the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Is this before the countdown? Also, it's been a while before we've seen these little shapes and colors from Shapes and Colors class. It was the last time was the April Direct, which is why we started the show to begin with. Well, that was the first thing we did. I was saying while you were gone that this is going to be, for most of the episodes, I bring information preemptively, but this one's going to be more discovery. Going to be some downtime while we're hunting down. This is all the display art that is at the, what's it called? The Nintendo Museum in like Kyoto?
In a museum, yeah.
Yeah. That is not in America. I might have to take a trip. I do like this art. I think it's interesting. I just wish they would release like a, have they ever done a Mario art book? I know they did the Hyrule Historia for, I want to bump this over a little bit. The Hyrule Historia for Legend of Zelda's, was that their 30th anniversary? Because that was when the thing is, like, I think there are pre and post eras when it comes to speculation online, or just like, you know, being a fan in fandom on the computer in general. And to me, we have always lived in a post Zelda timeline world. But I forget sometimes that there was like an era before that book came out that people were speculating on it. They're like, oh, what's the canon timeline? That to me, I feel like I only learned about Zelda around that time anyway. Like I obviously knew about the characters.
I think the game theory Zelda timeline video, which frankly, as much as people hate to admit it, is kind of the bedrock for, you know, I mean, it's kind of the bedrock for like modern familiarity with like Zelda timeline discourse. That was probably like 2013.
I thought that was after the book though, and he was like, the book's actually wrong.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, he was bringing up how like the purported hero falls, hero survives, or whatever kind of timeline doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but there are people I watched, like your Peanut Butter Gamers and whatnot, at the time, but I wasn't like playing Zelda or super aware of Zelda. So to me, like the timeline has always existed. But there was a decent bit on YouTube for a while where we didn't have a canon timeline. And I forget that sometimes. I need caffeine. This is Mario. He's a plumber. Also interesting, they show off new Super Mario Bros. DS, game we can't play on the Switch. 2. I never believed that that port or collection of the 2D games. Well, what they did for the 40th anniversary is kind of more stupid. Because it's less games ported. All they did was port Galaxy 2.
Oh, great. Finally, I can play Mario Galaxy on the Switch. Oh, wow. I've wanted to do that for so long.
Do you think they did that?
I haven't been able to do that for 5 fucking years.
Do you think they did that?
I'm like unironically bothered by that.
Well, there's a lot of shit in this Direct that's so fucking stupid, but...
Yeah.
Do you think they added Mario Galaxy 2 because of pushback, and they're like, oh, people really want this? Or do you think they were like, we'll port Mario 2 for the 40th anniversary? Do you think it was preemptive, or do you think they just didn't think people cared about Galaxy 2?
I don't know. Maybe they were just being assholes, or they thought it wasn't like worth the price. I doubt there were just like issues porting Mario Galaxy 2. I mean, if it
I don't know if it was Mario issues. Galaxy, I just think they were like, it's not. It doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like what literally could have stopped them from porting more. I don't know, maybe they just wanted to have like 3 things on the box instead of 4, but I don't know. It was really just like careless and annoying, and I don't know. I mean, I would have loved to have played Mario Galaxy 2, you know, for the first time, you know, in like 10 years instead of 15 years, you know? It's just, I don't know, it's really frustrating.
I assumed that like the blue Luma we see in the first movie was the only one that acted like that or looked like that, but this is a new Luma, so I guess they all kind of, the Lumas are just going to be the minions.
Yeah.
And also when it pans up to the Galaxy logo, it plays the little Galaxy motif, the ba 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 ba. And I don't know if you were with us yet, but for this section of the Direct, I talked about my biggest issue with, also we can see specific galaxies in the logo. My biggest issue with the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 2023 is they have such an array of fantastic music to take from. And they made original compositions for that movie that went
And they took it
unused.
out. They took them out.
Yeah, and they replaced them with licensed
Fucked
music, you
up.
know? They made that scene where Donkey Kong and Mario are on the minecart and they're going around Donkey Kong World. There
They
was a
played
huge...
Aha's Take on Me.
Yeah.
I need you to know that I knew that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, because it took me a while to remember it while watching this direct.
But it was so funny while I was watching this part. Like, he brought up, oh yeah, I forget the name of the composer. But the guy was like, oh yeah, that guy's this gentleman's returning to do the score for the film. And I was like half expecting him to say, and also we have a bunch of licensed songs that we're gonna use too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
like
It's like, I hope for the Super Mario Galaxy movie that they use more, not specifically orchestral, but just, you know, Mario music, original soundtrack, as opposed to making a jukebox movie that uses a lot of those songs. Like, you can excuse it for the Sonic movie because a lot of the songs were used in the games themselves, but I feel like it really doesn't fit Mario.
Yeah, no, it's goofy, and I wonder if they're gonna actually heed that criticism or just double down, because honestly, I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of like stupid shit Nintendo gets criticism for that they double down on, you know? Maybe that's just me being kind of pessimistic.
I mean, it's the Mario Galaxy movie. This is the game with the most famous music. Different Chris Pratt image, by the way.
They play Starman by David Bowie.
I was gonna say,
okay.
yeah, he flies the sky.
Or like Space Oddity by David Bowie or something.
Star Fox Odyssey. We got the original images of Keegan Michael Key and Jack Black, though. I'm glad they showed Kevin Michael.
I love the new headshot for Chris Pratt.
I feel like they only changed Chris Pratt and Charlie Day. I made
I think so.
joke about this while watching the direct.
The Kamek voice actor, that's got to be like a 30-year-old picture, though.
Yeah, well, that's Kevin Michael Richardson. I was gonna say, like, I brought this up in the direct.
How old is he now?
Oh, I don't know. He's been in cartoons that I watched when I was a kid. He's been around the block. So he's like a really well-respected voice actor, but because he wasn't like a big name, he didn't get top billing in the original direct. So that I'm glad he's a part of that now, because, you know, I mean, that's how it is with major Hollywood movies. It's like, if you're if you got fucking Tom Kenny in your movie, it doesn't matter. You got to get fucking Zac Efron in there.
Yeah. There's something really toxic about like Hollywood billing politics. It's a shame.
Yeah. So you were saying when we were watching this section, I suppose we could bring it up in video form. I wonder if there's anything that's going to be missed when we'll just watch it the direct like this. That the font looked different, and me and Dan were saying like, oh, I don't know, this kind of just looks like what it looks like in 3D All Stars.
I don't think I was saying that. I think someone else was saying that.
You were saying that the font was different, right?
I think that might have been Dan. I don't
think
I said that.
Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe it was the other way around.
Yeah.
But then I saw another post. It was like Wario64, which is someone, not like Trust is in the fact that like they're constantly leaking information, but, you know, they report on information. It's like discussing film, but for video games.
Yeah, I think I know them.
Yeah, and they cited this as like a Mario. They said apparent. I don't know if the word was apparently, but it said like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 remaster. But I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it looks
look like remastered to me.
I mean, if it is remastered, then it's like as remastered as 3D All Stars already was. I mean, this is at the very least a Mario Galaxy 2 remaster, but I think Mario Galaxy 1 is the exact version that was in Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah, it doesn't look any different to me. I think that's just...
It really is crazy that like I'm researching 2020 to talk about the final Smash Bros. Fighters Pass for the upcoming video. How much this year mirrors that one, and we didn't even have a pandemic this year. It's just been slow for no reason. Big moments with Galaxy. I mean, I played this game earlier this year. I love Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, well, you know, I played it a couple years ago on the 3D All Stars version.
That too, yes.
And honestly, I would have loved to have finished that and then immediately gone to Mario Galaxy 2.
Twitch chat says it's nice for people who didn't get the limited time collection. Yeah, I guess this isn't a limited time. I mean, if it was, they would have said so.
Okay.
Digital versions of Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 will be individually available on the 3DS just the eShop. That pose.
I think the reason I boycotted or refused to buy the 3D All Stars, maybe because I remember I decided not to buy it, and I actually only played Mario Galaxy on Switch because I checked out the game from the library.
Yes.
But I thought it was like ridiculous.
Is Super Mario 64 on Nintendo Switch Online? It is, right?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Is Super Mario 64, is it
It
on
might
Nintendo
not
Switch
be.
Online?
It probably is. Maybe I'm just going crazy.
Yeah,
Let me see.
because I know Sunshine isn't on the GameCube one, because we only have like 5 or 6 GameCube games. Like they just added Chibi Robo, and everyone's making a big deal about it.
Okay,
I'm
Nintendo 64.
glad. I mean, we haven't
Okay,
got
Mario 64 is on it.
yeah. So really, the only one you can't play on the Switch 2 or Switch if you don't have that collection is Mario Sunshine. But I imagine they'll just add it to GameCube Online at some point. But this, I think, is possibly. I mean, we never know. They could change their mind later down the line. It seems every September. I don't want to say every September because, you know, times change. But for the most part, during the September Directs is when they add a new console to Nintendo Switch Online. Granted, they announced GameCube as a part of the June Directs, but I think that was more just to sell the Switch 2. Because one of the main launch features of the Switch 2 was GameCube Online, strangely enough. That I would think this, at least for the time being, puts the nail in the coffin of like a Wii emulator on the Switch too. If they're going to go out of their way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of pessimistic about a Wii emulator, or maybe not. I mean, I guess they could work around it, but
now we got mouse controls.
I think, well, yeah, with mouse controls and stuff, I think there's just gonna be, for better, for worse, there's like each game is gonna have to be given a lot of special attention to like work well on the Switch, because I think that, you know, there's probably a good amount of game. Well, I mean, I think you really have to redevelop some of the controls for the Wii games. I don't think they would be like just like straightforward emulations or something like that. They'd probably have to
this is coming to both, right? Okay, also playable on the Switch too. I like how they say that like it's a feature. You could play the Switch 1 game on the Switch too.
It's like, oh, good. Wait.
Oh, thank God that was close. So let's put this. I wanted to separate these to how many of the things are now are like proper Switch 2 exclusives. Not to be greedy, but you know. I do have the Switch 2. I want to have games that are for the Switch 2. I wonder... Okay, Photoshop's really fighting me here. I wonder... I mean, just in general, wonder why they are still releasing games for the Switch 1 as litigiously. I guess, like, they've always done this. Like, the first year of a new console.
Yeah.
Like, even 2018 Directs still had 3DS games. But I do think it's possible that maybe they're like, oh, there's way more people that have a Switch 1 than a Switch 2. I mean, ideally, you want more people to play your game.
That's probably the biggest element, because they can still theoretically release games on the Switch. I mean, there's nothing the Switch 2 can do to Mario Galaxy 2 that the Switch 1 can. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
So because of that, I guess they think that there might be a pressure to just make it Switch 2 only, to pressure people to get the console, but that also probably affects sales figures. So I think there's kind of a balancing act. You have to think, okay, I mean, we'll make more money on this specific game if we sell it for both consoles, because more people have the console in its current state. Not everyone has a Switch 2 yet. So I think that's the biggest factor, you know, just kind of they want to have more successful releases, and they don't want the Switch 2 only to get in the way of that, unless if it absolutely has to. That's probably it, now that I think about it.
I mean, I keep forgetting that even Metroid is still like a Switch 1 game.
Yeah, which is crazy.
This says Switch 2, but I think it just means... Yeah, okay, so this is a Switch 2 game. So, I don't know if you were privy to the previous episode. I know we were falling apart a lot because of Discord. That...
Yeah,
I was bringing up the speculation that there was a Mario baseball toy that somewhere... It showed off a new Donkey Kong render. A new pose. And people were saying, like, oh, we could be on, you know, we could be seeing a new Mario Sluggers game. And I kind of got excited about the prospect of the Switch 2, aside from, like, Mario Kart and Smash, which are one console per game, so I wanted to see new games of those, of continuing the lineage. Like, oh, well, we already have a Mario Golf and a Mario Tennis and a Mario Strikers. So next would be Mario Sluggers. But it seems we're sort of defaulting back to none of that counting anymore. And now we are starting from scratch. And we're getting Mario Tennis Fever, and then we're going to, I guess next year, not next, because this comes out 2026. 2027, we're going to get Mario Golf or some shit.
That's probably what's going to happen. All things considered, like
Fever. So it seems like the mechanic here is mix and matching, 30 Fever rackets. And we're seeing a lot of characters here. I'm not going to put together a whole sheet of like, oh, these are all the characters we see. But we should just... It's Peach, Daisy, Mario, Bowser.
We did see PD Piranha. Was PD Piranha in Mario Tennis Open? Aces or whatever?
Yes.
Open was the
That's what I
3DS
think.
one,
I think
right?
most of the characters we're going to see are just...
Yeah,
I mean, the Switch...
Maybe Pauline will be in the game, unless she was in.
There's
Aces,
Rosalina. She was. And so was Cappy, so I guess we'll see about that. Bowser, Donkey Kong, Peter Piranha, Rosalina. This is Boo and Dark Boo are two separate characters. Granted, unless this is like an Ice Climber situation, because this seems to be a 1v1, and it just says Boo versus Luigi. So maybe this is just like some shadow...
Wait, that might be like a special ability Boo has to
I think that's the Racket, actually, because it says Shadow Racket. I think everyone has a Shadow version. Yeah, I think that's what the Racket does. Burdetta, Pauline, Chain Chomp, Shy Guy. Yoshi wasn't shown in that sizzle reel, but there he is. Oh, and there's Luma. And Toadette. When people hear, like, reused assets, they immediately think it's a bad thing. But, the Talking Flower, of course, and Blooper. But most Switch games were built on the computer, because that's how video games are made, in likely modern-day resolution and modern-day hardware. And there's Waluigi and his classic Waluigi tennis fit. I think they may have shrunk his bulge. Most of the games for the Switch were likely, like, Switch 2 level games that had to be... What's the word I'm looking for? Integrated? Like, fixed a little bit to run properly. Optimized
and stuff,
Optimized to run on Switch 1. So, if the models look a lot better, I think these are just genuinely the models from Mario Tennis Aces, which is totally fine, if you already have the models. Because this game... I'm pretty sure the Mario Tennis game for the... By the way, Donkey Kong has to watch over all of these babies. Was there... I don't think there was a Donkey Kong
There was a
game
baby
like
Donkey
that.
Kong. There was a baby Donkey Kong in Yoshi's Island DS.
I know because I had this...
I feel like Baby Wario looks different than he used to. I don't know.
Maybe.
I might be losing
Did he
it.
used to have a mustache? I don't remember.
I don't think he had a mustache. Let me.
This was always something I brought up as a hypothetical character.
Editor, bring up Baby Wario.
Yeah, show me a picture of Baby Wario, please. Baby Mario render from Yoshi's Island DS. That I had an idea for an Echo Fighter of Bowser Jr., where instead of a clown car, it's a baby
Apparently,
carriage.
Baby Wario was in Dr. Mario. Baby Wario was in Dr. Mario World. I didn't know that.
Is that the iPhone one?
I think so.
Okay. My idea was like, it's like you can have the 8 or the 7 Koopalings of Bowser Jr., except it's 8 babies, and it could be the 8 babies of characters that have appeared in Smash, because the 8 babies up to that point, not counting, Metal and Pink Gold, were Mario, Luigi, Daisy, Rosalina, Peach, Wario. There was a baby DK, and technically there was also a baby Bowser. So all of the Mario characters in Smash, aside from Piranha Plant and Dr. Mario, other tertiary characters, have had baby versions, and now for the first time, Waluigi is getting a baby version.
Imagine they, like, put baby Waluigi in Smash Bros, but not Waluigi?
That'd be fucked up. Or they put all the babies except for Waluigi.
Just because of how, like, brazen it is.
Yeah. I mean, I like this as an idea, because it's a weird story, but as you know, this spot specifically, when he's running through here, I'm like, this looks so much like... Not this bit, but this bit here. It looks like the Super Mario RPG remake.
It kind of does, yeah.
With the dark green brush.
Not just that, also the like the plasticky plants.
Mm-hmm.
That looks very Mario RPG remake.
And finally there's an enemy from Odyssey. Hopefully we see more Odyssey here. Okay, we have a proper release date. Let me get the image of this. What was I going to say? I don't know if this is the... I'm looking at a fake... I don't know what this is. Let me show you what I just found. This is not what the Mario Tennis Aces box art is.
No, it's not.
This is a fan-made one by, I guess, Peter Beater. Shout out. Okay, no, let me get the real Mario Tennis Fever. Oh, wait, what was I saying? Okay, this is a Switch 2 exclusive. Okay, let me get rid of the little... I do actually prefer... I know people don't like the box art, but whenever I was working on the Smash video, the plastic lining is like white or translucent, so whenever I tried to magic wand the white bits, it would always remove the plastic, so I had to individually like lasso it.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that the entire border is red now. It makes it easier for me to just do this.
Yeah.
Let me fix it like this. I'm surprised we already have box art for a lot of these. All right, that's one Switch 2 game, and it comes out in February. So far. There was like a point I was going to make. I don't remember what it was. Oh, Camelot is developing this game. And they made the original Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color and the N64. And then they went away for a while to make Golden Sun, I presume. And Nintendo made like the Wii U version that everyone really hated. And then they came back for Aces, and that's why it has like RPG elements and a story mode. It's because that's what Camelot excels at. Also, Blue Yoshi mentioned.
Oh, which one? Which one was the Wii one?
What? I don't think there was a Wii one. I just thought there was a new Motion Plus version of the GameCube one. Am I wrong?
Oh, that might have been it. That might have been it.
Okay, because I could be wrong. That doesn't seem super certain, but that sounds like something they did.
I feel like I remember like vaguely seeing the Wii.
Oh, I think there was like table tennis and just tennis in general in Mario vs. Sonic at the Olympic Games. We haven't had one of those in a while. Yeah, Mario Wonder, I did fully complete. I did everything in. This time around, I tried doing it. It's hard to get people physically together. The first day Mario Wonder came out, like, I can't believe that's 2023, is forever ago. That I tried to get my roommates all together so we could play it, but that only lasted for like a day or so. That whenever this DLC comes out, and it hopefully utilizes proper game share game chat. Not like Jamboree TV where we could only do one board and we had to like be in the same room of ridiculous shit. I hope it's more like 3D World where we can genuinely play it together. Because I want to get a crew together to play it like this. Because I feel like some of these games are really just built for multiplayer. Like, I think Mario Wonder is one of the few that stands on its own. But there are some games where it's like, oh, it's a 4-player platformer game that it really isn't fun to play by yourself.
Definitely.
We'll see what we can do. I mean, I fully intend on getting it. We do got to complete that Super Mario 3D World run we were doing of completing the level with all the characters that aren't Blue Toad. So we can get all the stickers. I can finally be rid of that game. I think it's interesting that some games that were Wii U games can be ported to the Switch and then also get Switch 2 editions. So it's like we're adding additional content to Wii U games after the fact later down the line. Imagine a 3D World Switch 2 edition. And there's
kind of lit, actually.
Additional game modes that are sort of... this is using the mouse mode, I presume. There's a lot of, like, not indie game. I guess they are indie games, but like Human Fall Flat and Overcooked and stuff that are getting Switch 2 editions. But I don't think they're adding game modes. All they're doing is adding face cam or adding mouse controls, and those seem like the main appeals of the Switch 2. Like that Chillin' by the Fire game, because it's a Switch 2 exclusive, one of like 7 Switch 2 exclusives. I did play it. I played it single player, so I didn't get to do the face cam thing yet. It does apparently have game share.
Lonely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fire simulator. I legitimately forgot that the Koopalings weren't in this game already. I'm so used to seeing them. I like Captain Toad's design here. I like the Mario Wonder designs in general. I thought, like, after Mario Wonder, though, that's like, oh, this is what the Mario characters are going to look like moving forward. But now that they don't, it really just makes Wonder stand out all that much more as its own thing. I think the
Mario Wonder direction was just kind of in response to a lot of criticism that the new Super Mario Bros. Games got, along with a desire, I think, to just have something that's very visually distinct from the Mario Maker games. That's what I think.
This is not
Yoshi Tracks.
This is not it. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, I found something. This is important. What about this one? Thoughts on this? I like the idea that Nintendo Switch 2 would be blue themed. Like they'd move away from the red Nintendo.
I also like the idea that the background is just space. They're like, okay, we're not going to show any power-ups here. We're not going to show any like levels here. It's just going to be like empty space.
It is very like Wii era fake box art, where it's like Super Mario Universe. I don't know if we have box art for this. Okay, spring 2026 is a ways away. But again, I don't think it'll be before February. It could
be
but
like March, to be
I think
honest.
So maybe the February Direct we normally get will be like a March Direct instead, which I'd be fine with. If I can get this third Smash video out before the February Direct, you know. Because I was like wearing the Smash shit today, but I was kind of secretly, you know, I was wishing, you know what, fuck it, we'll use this Yoshi design, who cares. I was hoping that they wouldn't announce new Smash, because then I need to pivot, and immediately I'm like, I gotta finish this video now. All right,
Yeah,
let's put this
definitely.
here.
That
I mean,
we.
this is a Switch 1 game, but it's a Switch 2 edition. This is a fan-made box art, but wait, does we have the who created this? Can I get names on this? This is on r/Nintendo Switch 2. It's created by SpawnPon. SP_N_0
Friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show, of course. Let me bring this up over here actually. Thank you. Wait, yeah. SPON. What the fuck? The Wicked guy? All right. Well, thank you, that guy. Anyway, back to our direct. Hey, but that's 2 games announced for the Switch 2. Both of them coming out 2026, which I assumed. Was there anything they showed off that's like later 25 that we didn't know about yet? Because even like Resident Evil,
No,
at
I
least
don't
well,
think
that comes out
so.
26.
I mean, I guess maybe the DLC for like Donkey Kong. There might be a couple like small
That's
indie
true.
games that were announced.
Yeah, because I wanted to make a thing of playing all the like Switch 2 exclusives and maybe most of the Switch 2 editions. But it seems like a lot of the Switch 2 editions are just adding features that don't really add that much to it with the camera. This is stupid, but I like how I don't know if children watch the Nintendo Direct. I know I did because I was just excited about YouTubers at the time. And I was like, oh, I want to be a part of this reaction headspace. But it is funny
Yeah,
that they're
no,
like,
honestly,
they're
like, I
showing
think
toys
the
for
audience-
children.
The audience is pretty much as young as maybe like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
That's what I always assumed.
They're dangling toys in your face. Dang with the talking flower. Do people hate the talking flower? Like, I know people, is it like a Navi
I fucked
situation?
with the talking flower. I liked it.
Yeah, but do people find it annoying? Okay, a new
I don't
Yoshi
know
as
if
well.
if they do. I mean, I feel bad for them. I feel like they're kind of lacking a certain humor.
I
Of these,
think,
like stupid little things that
like, I mean, with the Donkey Kong games, right? Because when Donkey Kong appears in Mario games, they're super great pals. They're always hanging out. But Donkey Kong games try and create their own universe. Like, you don't really see other Mario characters appear in Donkey Kong. That used to not be the case with Yoshi. Like, so much of Yoshi games were, oh, you're Yoshi, but also Baby Mario is there. I feel like the first decade or so of, quote, Yoshi games, games that just star Yoshi. But I think they've been trying to move it in a slightly different direction where they want Yoshi to have his own. Like, like that flower character wouldn't appear in Mario. That is a Yoshi character. Regardless, I think.
Well, that flower character is in the Paper Mario games.
Oh. Well, that might be
The
a
daisies?
little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is a thing. I think you do occasionally see stuff like that. But I don't think I don't think the daisies usually show up in main Mario platform.
Yeah.
Let me search that up.
It is just funny in general that I know that they're moving or they're trying to make Yoshi his own thing, his own world. I like that I say they're trying to do that. They've been making Yoshi games for like forever now.
Yeah, the daisies only show up in Yoshi games and Paper Mario.
Okay. All the Paper Mario or a Paper Mario?
Paper Mario 1 and Thousand Year Door.
Okay.
I think that maybe in Super Paper Mario.
They stopped showing up because they're not, quote, Mario characters anymore. I was going to say mainly as a bit that it's funny that all the Baby Mario characters show up in the tennis game, but they don't show up in this game. Yeah. This specifically, I said during the Direct that we know that Nintendo scooped up a bunch of the Ubisoft's developers who worked on like Rayman Legends, Rayman Origins, and we know that Ubisoft helped. I mean, of course they helped. Their characters were in the game. The Mario plus Rabbids games. So a lot of like the top. The reason we haven't gotten a new Rayman game is because the people who made the Rayman games now work at Nintendo. This character specifically, if I can go frame by frame a little bit, I'm trying to. You know the blue guy from Rayman, the second character. It's like a.
I would need to see a picture.
Glow box. That's what it is. Looks like this. Sort of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's the same design. Again, we don't know who worked on. I mean, we know, quote, Nintendo did, but I wouldn't be surprised if that. I can't even assume it's the entire team. That too. The lips specifically really give Rayman vibes. I've played one game before this. So the fact that it might be developed by those Rayman devs, it excites me. It fills me with such glee. So let's see. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. How do you feel about that title?
It's all right. I mean, I don't really have much of an opinion on it.
They don't have box art for a lot of these. Alright, well, let's use this image. Let's fix this up a little bit, I suppose. We'll just make them the same.
She appears.
Like that, and then...
She is, I suppose.
Can I cut it like this? Okay. Sure. I want to say... Let me put this behind that so I could do it like this. Okay, that might be better. It's gonna look real stupid, but... Oh, wait, actually... Nope. Okay, that's the opposite of what I wanted. I'm fucking this up. Hold on. You know what? Fine. We're gonna crop it like this. Yoshi. Perfect. Let me get a proper version of Mario Wonder then. Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition. It's the fucking Yoshi image again. Let's get this here. We could probably just crop this one as well. But how much? Put that there. Inch a little bit. Okay, and then we can flatten it ourselves. Flatten. Like that. Perfect. Now this is how you make a Photoshop document. Okay. There's our 3 Nintendo Switch 2 games. I don't know why I remember there being less. I guess because they're kind of front-weighted. That's its own thing in and of itself. I mean, did you ever play a Yoshi game where you're like, wow, that was a fantastic game? Like, I've definitely played some of them. I had
Yoshi's Eye. Honestly, I feel like the only Yoshi game that I've ever heard, like, large amounts of consistent praise for is the original Yoshi's Island. And that's not to diss them. I just don't think they really ever kind of wow people that much, all things considered.
Well, I'm glad that this one is going back to a similar art style at the very least, because they were kind of just like generic 3D HD games. I played the one for the DS, that's just a remake of Yoshi's Island, right?
Yeah, although I remember when it around that era, a lot of people didn't like it, but I don't know if that was just kind of people. Yeah, if it is a remake, it's like one of those like weird remakes where they change a lot of things, and it's kind of, it doesn't feel like the same game.
And then they had new Yoshi's Island for the 3DS. A game
I remember people not liking that one.
Yeah, I remember people really disliked that. I don't remember why though. Probably just wasn't that interesting or exciting. Maybe it just didn't add enough new. Maybe people were clamoring for a new Yoshi game, and then they got one, and they were disappointed that it didn't do enough new or revolutionary things.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to believe that a 2D platformer made with them can be really good, but I don't think there's
Yoshi's
like
Island is a pretty good example.
Yeah, but I'm not as excited like, oh my god, there's a 2D Yoshi game. It didn't help that Yoshi's Crafted World specifically really deflated, and I only learned this upon researching the era for the last Smash video that is currently out, that the game was announced like really early. It was one of the first Switch games announced alongside like Mario and Zelda, and then it came out in 2019. I don't know why that game specifically got delayed.
What did people dislike about Yoshi's Crafted World?
I don't know if they disliked much. I think it just kind of fizzled out because it was announced and then it didn't come out for a while. And then I think maybe came out a month after or the same month as New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So those are like 2 Mario series 2D platformers, and they may have just cannibalized each other. And by that, I mean New Super Mario Bros. Cannibalized that, because I think when we talk about like, oh man, the big system sellers or the big, needle movers of Nintendo, or like, oh, we love 3D Mario, we love Zelda, that one of the best-selling Switch games is just New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which was a Wii U launch title. It's always surprised me. People love Mario. We underestimate how many people, 1, love Mario, and 2, did not own a Wii U.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Dinkum is just Switch 1. Thank you, Dinkum. I don't care much for Dinkum. We'll put him there. I'll know what it means. I was kind of assuming we would get more box art. It's weird that we already have the Galaxy box art. But I guess that one comes out this year. I guess that's a major... Well, this one also comes out this year, but... Is there a free demo for Dinkum? Embark on a colorful adventure. Somebody said that this looked like Puyo Puyo, and it does kind of. I don't know if it has any relation to it. Papukum. Papukum. Got it. I mean, a more likely... What the fuck is this? Wait. Is this a game that already exists? Because I'm seeing a little collab here. Wait. Papukum official trailer. What is this? There's a Twitter account, Papukum_English. Wait,
I'm kind of laughing.
This is a thing that already it's followed by Pan Pizza. 3D co-op platform adventure game. Maybe this game already exists. It's just coming to the Switch.
Or it's like maybe
available holiday 2025. Okay,
when was the account made?
June 2023.
Yeah, I don't think it's out yet because it's saying.
Let's see what this is. Okay. Go to Steam, go to Epic. I think it may have been out on like
maybe it's already out on Steam.
Other platforms, yeah. Or is this another Ninjala situation where it has like, oh god, where it has like a dedicated anime? Get 10% off Popcom now. So yeah, the game, patch notes. Yes, this game is out already. It came out in July.
Yeah, it must come out a couple months ago on like Steam.
Making my computer
and now
go crazy.
It's coming on Switch.
And the Rabbids are in it. Yeah, it's another mobile game that's coming to Switch. Did I put Popcom here? I guess I gotta. Where is it? Yeah, it's $20 on the Epic Store, on the Epic's Game Store. Oh my god, that's huge. And now it's coming to Switch 1.
If you have a Switch 2 and you try and play it, you will die.
Yeah. It says go buy it on Epic instead. It runs better. Okay, this is a game I care about. See, that's the, like, it's sort of... I feel like
there's not many bullet points we found out about someone. I guess, we know about...
well, I think it's a big deal that you can freely move them around the city.
The free exploration, I think. I guess kind of forcing your Miis to kind of make friends, too.
Yeah.
Although, part of me is kind of mixed about that. I feel like there are some things that happen, by chance in Tomodachi Life that kind of add to the fun.
Mm-hmm.
But... I don't know. I mean, I think I understand why people might kind of want to have a little bit more self-control. Did they announce gayness in Tomodachi Life too? Have they said anything about? I assume they're gonna let it happen. I feel like
it'd be a bigger controversy if they removed it. I think
you're right. That is true. I feel like nowadays that kind of stuff unfortunately gets a lot more pushback.
Yeah, it's free marketing though.
But. Yeah, no, I if I had to like guess, I assume they're gonna allow same-sex relationships.
Yeah. Also, I saw people saying that this creator they have an in-game creator. Even though I think you could still make Miis on the Switch too. It's weird that it's still buried in the settings that you could do an individual. Yeah, that's always
been a weird thing. I guess I don't know. I think that's kind of downstream of the Switch really kind of wanting to have its own new brand identity. They didn't want to make it too obviously an extension of like the Wii U era.
Well, what do we call these? Tomodachis, I guess. Like,
no,
what are these?
I think they said me. In the video.
Because like this is fine. Like the new kind of Mii design and the game having its own creator, like them moving away from the actual Mii maker is fine. I wish they looked like this in Nintendo Switch Sports as opposed to looking like weird like shovelware characters.
Yeah.
I saw people saying
it's interesting. You can kind of see, it's kind of like a mix of 2D and 3D art in that designer. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of like
it definitely looks a lot better. I forgot how, because like I'm picturing Mii's in my head, but then sometimes when you go back to the original Wii, you're like, oh no, these looked like way worse, way more primitive, especially with the eyes specifically.
The eyes specifically, also the hair. I think they're kind of
they're shading.
I think they've added more hairstyles over time. But also I think they're kind of. I think earlier on there was kind of maybe it was unintentional. I think it was intentional to kind of make Mii's look very plasticky and stuff.
Yes.
I think that's something they're kind of moving away from because I feel like that hair is kind of drawn to have like a certain texture to it. Where when I remember like literally the hair that Mii's had was kind of lit as if it was like a glossy surface. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think they're moving away from that specifically. Or they have moved. I'm pretty sure there was a similar thing in Miitopia, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up Miitopia. That I saw people saying that this doesn't have the same character creator as Miitopia does, like the makeup setting where you can.
Well, what's in the bottom left?
Well, that's what I was gonna say, is that there's this little paintbrush, and I saw other people saying like, oh, I guess it makes sense. It'd be hard to load multiple of those Miitopia created characters on screen at once, but I don't know. I think it might still allow it. I just think we just don't really see that. Unless the paintbrush is just like, oh, freckles
on the hair. That is definitely this definitely new Mii's. This is not the new the Mii technology is getting insane.
The new Mii mocking the old Mii.
Was that personality slider in the original Tomodachi Life? I genuinely don't remember.
Yeah. And as was the voice one.
The voice, I remember the voice.
So we don't know what that little paintbrush one is. That there's like, I want to do a lot of interesting things in Tomodachi Life, but you have to like get started first and like slowly unlock stuff. Also, because they're animated, I said in the direct reaction, I'm like, oh, this person's really into anime. I think these are just like K-pop stars or like idols. They just look like anime because it's like, you know, it's a cartoon art style.
That room is probably like K-pop fan room or whatever, and it probably has a funny tagline.
This is Peterpotamus. Now, there's a lot I want to do. I want to have a bunch of contestants on an island and have them eliminate each other. I want to do a show like that. But to do that, you have to sink a couple hours into the game already to create the characters and slowly fill up the island and unlock stuff. So maybe we'll just like add characters, and then once we get to like, I don't know, 22 characters, then we'll start eliminating people. You can just physically drag them there. I want it to be really on edge. I want this to be a regular show.
I've always loved that gag. You can just kind of pick up your Mii, and it's like squirming, and it's like crying when you do that. And I love them like running around and chasing each other like they're animals. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, we're creating an ecosystem.
I'm like way more enthusiastic about like basic physical comedy, basic like vaudeville physical comedy as an adult than I was as a kid.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's wildly impressive. That's what I was saying about Ballerina, that John Wick film earlier this year. That the John Wick movies, like, everyone always holds them up as a pantheon of action, and they are, but they're also sort of like a modern recreation of old, like, physical comedy silent films. So much so that there is a scene in Ballerina where a character is beating another character with a remote, and the TV in the background is like cycling through channels, and it plays like several Buster Keaton bits. Like, I get what they're going for, but that movie specifically had really shitty dialogue, so I kept like thinking like, oh, what if they did make a fully silent John Wick movie? Like, that'd be epic, actually. If they like committed to it, I think that'd be great. Yeah, we could put this on the Switch 1 side. Again, like, bittersweet. There are some major Switch 1 games that I'm excited for. But also, yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm rubbing it in people's faces or being like, oh, what about me? You know, like the image of Patrick where it's like, oh, I'm starving, but he's fully obese. That, worth it on its own. And regardless, I was going to buy the console anyway for streaming purposes, but it seems more and more like there aren't a whole lot of multiple reasons to own a Switch 2. I mean, this game will run better, but
I think that like it might be a while before the Switch 2 is like an essential purchase. And you know, to be fair, I think that era of unambiguous console upgrades is kind of over, because even nowadays it feels like the recent gen consoles are kind of I don't know, tiptoed out, for lack of a better term.
It's more games as a service. Like, oh, this machine runs Xbox.
With games as a service, along with, I don't know, the fact that you don't have many exclusives anymore, at least outside of Nintendo, it just seems that
also, I didn't clock this the first time, but they walk off to the right and then he appears here.
That's cute. I like that.
There's a bunch of little ones. Well, I would agree with you, but then they're also doing a new fucking Mario Tennis, so it very clearly is a different console lineage.
Yeah, I guess. I guess maybe I'm just kind of I might be kind of pretending that what's happening right now is unique. I mean, I think a lot of consoles have had, you know, a certain kind of spaced out move between multiple between 2 generations. But I don't know, nowadays it feels like a lot of games, they come out for the newest console and also the console's older brother that's, you know, not as popular, not as big and shiny as it used to be. I think, I don't know, I know a lot of people that haven't gotten a Switch 2 yet. You know, they love Nintendo, but you know they can wait. And I mean, to be fair, I mean, there's Mario Kart World. That's a fun game.
Yes.
There's Donkey Kong. I feel like Donkey Kong. I'm the kind of person who was gonna buy the Switch 2 no matter what, even if I wasn't doing this show.
Yeah.
But
I think this game is also on the Switch 2. Yes. Okay. Well, I got the wrong box. All right. What were you saying? Continue.
I guess, you know, I think that I don't know, nowadays it's not too hard it's not like impossible to release a game on multiple consoles at once. You know, it's interesting, a lot of these games that they're announcing during the Nintendo Direct, like, they don't look that good graphics wise. They look kind of, you know, low budget and a little bit cheap. And I'm kind of reminding myself, like, yeah, I mean,
it is paid ad space.
Yeah, well, yeah, that. But also, it just kind of occurs to me is that, I don't know, I mean, we talked about this before. In some ways, I think graphical fidelity is plateauing, and even when it isn't, you know, I think a lot of the largest bottlenecks on when it comes to processing power for video games nowadays are things that can be fixed by just, you know, turning down the certain sliders. Like, okay, maybe we just like make the shadows shittier, you know? Nowadays, even like mobile devices can do a lot of basic 3D rendering pretty easily, and it's usually just, you know, some of the really fancy lighting effects and stuff. That's what usually takes up power.
Yes.
So, like, I don't know. I think that, you know, it's not super hard to. Well, it's not impossible, but most of the time, for most games, at least that ones that are coming out, I don't think there's really such an extreme difference between like the Switch and the Switch 2 when it comes to whether it can run it or not. Maybe I'm wrong though. I mean, I guess the Donkey Kong Bonanza needed to be put on the Switch 2 because, or at least they say that, but I assume it's probably true.
I'm not particularly up with the Final Fantasy remake. Is Remake Integrate the sequel? Because I know it's split into multiple. Okay.
I really don't know what happened with the Final Fantasy remake. I just kind of gave up on like.
Well, like it's split into multiple games. So the one that's titled Final Fantasy VII Remake is the opening of Final Fantasy VII. Like, you don't leave Midgar,
which is insane. That's insane. It really is.
The sequel. Okay, so it's Final Fantasy VII Remake and then maybe Final Fantasy VII Re-something. I know it's going with like a naming convention, but I forget what it's called. Can you look that up real quick? I'm lassoing here. Okay. I'm on a roll with the deals with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because if it's Remake Integrated, this might just be like both versions put together, or this is specifically the sequel and we already got Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch, which maybe we did. I mean, integration, I assume, means it's not a cloud-based game like the others.
This is like a complicated answer.
Okay.
Okay, so oh Jesus. Okay, so the first remake game came out in 2020. I think that took place in the Midgar section. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out next.
Okay.
I don't know how much of that game I guess it's supposed to be a trilogy. And then, God, I don't even know. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion is considered a prequel to. Dude, this is like ridiculous.
Oh my God. Okay, so
I feel like you need like explaining the
Final
Fantasy VII remake would probably take like a good 7 or 8 minutes.
The simple plot of Final Fantasy VII. So this looks like Midgar. So I'm gonna assume this is the remake, and I imagine it's called Remake Integrate is because the remake, I think, was on Switch 1, but it was a cloud-based game. Am I remembering that right?
Some shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Integrate just means like, hey, it actually runs on the Switch 2 now. Like, you can actually play it as a game.
You just play the original fucking Final Fantasy VII.
Which Lord. You can play on the Nintendo Switch.
You can.
What's this called? Linked Banner of something? Yeah, Linked Banner of Spark. Again, this game is already out on Steam, I'm pretty sure. But, okay, so is this coming to Switch 1 and 2, or is it just a Switch 2 situation? Dude, you can customize... Okay, this is both. Banner of the Spark. That's what I was saying when I thought the Resident Evil trailer at the end was a little strange, even though it was a fully new trailer. That is not like, oh, this big game is coming to Switch 2 finally, or oh, this is a game exclusive to the Switch 2. It's a game that we know to be coming out on other consoles. I guess it's cool that Nintendo got a big Resident Evil direct, and now they're announcing, oh, the game is coming to the Switch. But I mean, it's cool that you could play it on the Switch too. I probably won't play it on the Switch too if I have other options. See, that's my thing with Nintendo games, is that I really only care about exclusives, because if I want to play... Somebody in my chat the other day was asking me about, like, oh, why I'm not using my PS5 as much. Because, like, for most major games that aren't exclusives, I'm just going to play them on my Xbox or my PC, especially if they're on Game Pass. And even, like, the games that are originally slated as PlayStation exclusives are eventually just put on Steam anyway. Like, Nintendo games are the only games where, like, you have to play them on Nintendo consoles, you know, legally. So if there's... I don't care much for, like, oh, this big third-party game. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see it on the Switch, too. I know it means something to someone. Some people only have the Switch, and they're like, oh, thank God I can finally play this game. I can finally play Hades, too.
For me, I don't have a Steam Deck. I guess I could get a Steam Deck, you know. I mean, it's not gonna, like, you know,
I don't think it's worth it. I have a Steam Deck. I don't think it's worth it.
I mean, for me personally, it might there's probably a lot of games that I could play on the Steam Deck that might make, you know, for a lot of third-party games. I mean, usually I'll get them on Steam. I mean, I'm
yes.
You know, I've always been console. You know, it's just you know, I think there's a lot of benefits to having everything on one system. It's nice to have it on my computer. I don't have a TV, so it's not like I can, like, you know, it's just easier to have it that way. Well, I have a TV in my house, but it's kind of like part of a communal room. It's not like it's like
you don't have a monitor.
Like, most of the time, someone else is using it, so it's.
I hadn't even thought about that. No, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've kind of thought about, you know, especially a lot of my friends who, you know, like if I went to their college dorm, or they live or they live on their own, you know, it's kind of cool. Like, oh my God, you literally have like a dedicated watching TV space that you can use whenever you want. You know, so like,
I'm such an aesthetic bitch that I love, like, the retro feel of things. So I've been watching. I plugged my Roku stick into a CRT using a converter.
Dude, yeah, you're telling me that, and when you told me that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is probably so fun.
It is, but it's but it's solely just for aesthetic purposes. Like, I could use the Roku on anything, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it on my old TV.
Yeah, but so yeah, because of that, you know, just it's just easier to have things on one console, and I don't know. I've had my Steam account for probably like 13, 14 years. So, I mean, it's just easier to just keep using that as opposed to kind of migrate to the whole PlayStation or Xbox ecosystem as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think, I mean, that's the main reason. I can't think of anything else. So I mean, there have been games. I mean, I think I said this earlier, that I'm probably, if I can, I might refund Persona if I can on Steam and just get it on the Switch when it comes out, because I haven't been able to play it yet. And I'm probably gonna have it's probably be more pleasant of an experience for me to be able to play it on the Switch than on the PC, because I don't know. You can.
How is that remake?
I can leave shit running on the Switch. And just kind of go in home mode, but then I have to, like, you know, turn off the entire program system on the PC, which is kind of annoying and stuff like that.
How is that remake?
I haven't played the Persona 3 remake, but and I'm looking forward to it.
So this is a Switch 2 edition. I'm not super up on Hades. Maybe I'll ask my good friend Chris, but the fact that it's a Switch 2 edition, more often than not, I mean, other than like the indie ones that are just adding mouse feet, maybe it just adds mouse features, maybe it adds face cam. But if I was a Hades fan and this has additional content or original content, it might be worth scooping. Like, even Deltarune has levels that are exclusive to the Switch 2 edition because they use mouse controls.
Really? Fuck, I'm not sure if I should play Deltarune on Switch or PC now.
I mean, I'm doing it on both because I forgot to make multiple save files before I, like, made import. I mean, even when I played on the computer, I used a controller. It depends on what you like playing bullet hells with, because remember, the combat is like bullet hell. So if you're better with a mouse than, or I mean, you know, keyboard and mouse controls, it might be better to use the PC. I haven't done the Switch 2 original content yet, but what I'm saying is that there might be. I mean, I imagine indie game developers, especially Toby Fox, are like psyched about the idea of having Nintendo exclusive content without like having to kneecap their prices. So just having like an original mode. Also, I didn't clock this. There's more Kirby Air Riders amiibo, which makes sense because this is Kirby and Bandana Waddle Dee on 2 of the. Oh my god, machines. Let me switch over to us real quick so I can open up that Kirby document I have of all the different machines. Let's see, do I have them here? Should be here, I think. It's opening up. Yeah. Oh, this is a mess. I forgot how bad this looked because we did it like right on the fly. But there are multiple different machines. I don't think that we're going to get like an amiibo for every machine and every character, and we could all mix and match them. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to get a Magolor amiibo.
I don't think there's gonna be enough demand for it, to be honest. I mean,
maybe
like,
Starman.
Air Riders is gonna do well, but like I don't think they're gonna go that far. I think it'd be too expensive.
Right, but it does say here more Kirby Air Rider amiibo updates in the future. Oh, that might just be like release dates, because now we know that there's going to be another Kirby Air Riders Direct, and that shocked me. Because that was a 40-minute direct.
Yeah.
And this game comes out in November.
I think that's just a Sakurai thing, to be honest.
He's got a taste for it again.
It's like, dude, I think the multi-direct thing is more of a Smash Bros thing, Masahiro. It's not more of it's not a you thing. No offense.
I don't think we need to add Kirby Air Riders to this we already knew some of these games were already coming, and we're gonna get updates on them as we are with Age of Imprisonment. I think. Maybe Dan said it on the reaction that Hyrule Warriors is only really interesting in the context of it being a big crossover of multiple timelines. Like, it just being...
Yeah, he had that opinion.
Yeah, in the story of Breath of the Wild. I've never played a modern Hyrule Warriors game. I didn't even play Hyrule Warriors Deluxe Edition. I played the original on the Wii U because I was a Wii U owner, and there were a lot of, there weren't a whole lot of Wii U games. So I'm like, yeah, I'll play this game that I've never played a game like this before. Maybe I will play this one. Because
I have like a bad impression of the Warriors franchise ever since Fire Emblem Warriors. I was like,
oh yeah, that one came out too. But I mean, that one makes a little more sense. I haven't played it, so maybe it's like shit. But when I think about Fire Emblem, I'm like, oh yeah, they have a lot of heroes.
Favoritism. Yeah, no. I mean, it's altogether. I'm sure. It's a good idea for a game. Yeah. It's more just like.
Well, it's like it's the same thing as Smash Bros, where it's an overabundance of 3DS characters. That's Awakening, right? Yeah.
Real quick, it was mostly Awakening and Fates, and it was just kind of like I don't know. I mean, it's Fire Emblem, especially because of the revival of popularity it got in the last decade. There's always been, I think. Especially for games like that, there's a lot of attention given to the newer games. You have side characters from the newer games, but not like main characters from the older games. And literally from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense why they would do that. But you still kind of
Awakening is the one that like revitalized the series, right?
Effectively saved the series. Yeah, I mean, like occasionally you'll hear someone say that it didn't, but yeah, I think they're just full.
Was that the first one that came out after Brawl? It had to have been, right?
No, there were a couple. There was a Shadow Dragon. Shadow Dragon might have come out before Brawl. Now I think about it,
because Brawl was 2008, like early 2008.
Shadow Dragon may have been like 2008, 2009. Let me see.
Because the one with Ike for the Wii came out after he was revealed or not revealed, but him and Lucario, the Fire Emblem and the Pokemon characters, are always planned for the game while those games are in development.
Came out early 2009 in the US and late 2008 in Japan and in Europe. So so that was post Brawl, but that Shadow Dragon had a sequel that what was I gonna say, that was only in Japan. And that actually was the game that introduced the like casual mode, like no permadeath. So some people kind of say that that's the game that should be credited as like changing the series, but it really shouldn't, because it didn't do that well. Like Awakening is the one that did well and kind of, I think, changed the public perception of Fire Emblem to such an extent. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Smash had a big part of that. But speaking of which, this is something that we brought up in a previous episode of Switch to Ultra that it may have been added in the edit, but isn't added to the document I have, that not only, and since we have this document open over here of the Kirby Air Rider speculation. Oh, maybe we don't have that actually. Let me grab that render real quick. That is it top billing? Yeah, up there with the top 4. We got a Kirby amiibo for this, and then the additional character that they showed off was not a Meta Knight amiibo. It was not a King Dedede amiibo. It was a Bandana. Oh my god, Bandana Waddle Dee amiibo. Sorry, I was typing the words Bandana Waddle Dee render as I was saying that. And I was trying really hard not to say the word render. That we have this Air Riders render with the Smash Flourish. Granted, well, these are new. This is his Air Riders design, but it's a new render because he's hitting a different pose. That we didn't get a new Smash announced, and we might not for a while. But I think that because we're going into the second year of a new console, that I think it's time to at least like preemptively start tuning back into this Smash speculation chart, because it's been a while, and we've been asking our guests who they want and getting little bits of information like, oh, we'll come back to this. But I think it's time that we, like, individually on the show just start adding stuff to this. And I think Bandana Waddle Dee, I'm sure it was added in a previous episode when we asked, but I think he needs to be a part of this render. And I brought it up in the context of amiibo because there's where can I put him that he's not like, he's his normal size but he's not too covered. Should we put a square next to it that says, like, is there like an amiibo logo? There should be, right? If we're using this as points of speculation. Amiibo logo? Yeah, okay. Oh, that's a perfect square, actually. Or as perfect as that image can be. Oh, it's a fucking PNG? Wait. Actually, it might not be. There we go. Put that there. Hope the drop shadows are the same. It should be. Put this here. Now, amiibo doesn't.
I'm so stressed out about drop shadow consistency in my videos.
Amiibo for there's all this other shit. I forgot I put all these other renders here. Or yeah, I added this on top of the other ones. That if I put a drop shadow, will it be the same one? What the fuck? Okay, no. Hold on. Let me open up these images real quick. So okay, drop shadow. I forgot that in Photoshop you have to hover over the previous drop shadow, yeah, and then it'll cover it. Amiibo doesn't always mean that it's going to be a Smash character. I mean, we saw it with an original Waddle Dee. Was it that it was Shovel Knight, which is Dan the Man's character, that I believe it may have been Smash 4 that they
Shovel Knight had an amiibo.
Yeah, Shovel Knight had an amiibo. And there was a leaker who said, like, oh, Shovel Knight's going to be in Smash Bros. Because prior to that, the only amiibo were Smash Bros. Characters.
Yeah, I remember he was like, Shovel Knight was one of the first amiibos to not be linked to Smash Bros. Yeah.
So I'll try and clean up this little speculation sheet. This was kind of last minute after doing the research, because we will add additional things to it after that second Kirby Air Riders Direct. But I think it is worth noting that I think if there is a new Smash, like Bandana Waddle Dee is a lock. Like that is the one I'm most certain about.
You really think so? Yeah, I'm not
out of any character, yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess, in the past I would have said that Bandana Waddle Dee is kind of like a forced kind of fourth guy in the squad. Yeah. And honestly, on some level, I'd still kind of argue that, at least to my perception. But I think there's enough demand for it that he's kind of being legitimized as like part of the gang that I could kind of see it happening now.
Yeah. You know what? While this trailer's playing, since we don't care about Age of Imprisonment, let's put fucking Waluigi on the chart, just because. I think we'll have a little, because these are like, oh, this is from a fake leak, or one of our guests said it, or this is an amiibo. But I think we should also have characters if we both like agree on it. If we're both like, oh, this will be in, then it should be added to it. Am
I saying this will be in, or this has a good chance of being in? Because that.
Well, I think there's the same thing, right? Like this will be in, it has a good chance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like there's a difference between I would be surprised if this gets in, if this doesn't get in, and I think there's a good chance of this getting in, at least for me.
Well, how do you feel about Waluigi then? We just saw baby Waluigi.
I actually think Waluigi has a pretty good chance. Like I think that's
I agree.
Part of me is hesitant to say that it's a lock for me. I think because,
well, to be fair, when we're saying like,
it's almost felt like Sakurai or people just don't want Waluigi in Smash Bros. Like the people who make it. But I think that's just kind of, I don't know if you remember this, because I know you had more experience with a Smash Ultimate kind of speculation.
Yes.
compared to Smash 4. Smash 4 was the game that I really paid attention to. Smash Ultimate just kind of came out when it came out. At least I wasn't watching Game Explain for Smash Ultimate. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
the analysis.
But I remember a lot of people in the circles I was in argued that Waluigi couldn't make it in because he was a spin-off exclusive character, and they only wanted main series Mario characters in Smash Bros.
I mean, people still say that.
And on some level, well, the thing is, I think what made that not necessarily a factor to me, and I was very sure about it, was because I feel like she's kind of graduated to a certain extent. That happened after she was added to Smash Bros. First of all, and also I think that that's just not necessarily a rule anymore. And even though she was an Echo Fighter, that might be part of it. I think they could easily add Waluigi. Honestly, the only thing that I'm still unsure about is the fact that he's not a Wario character. He wouldn't be a Wario character because he's never been in a WarioWare game.
Yes.
So who knows how that's gonna fit in, if it will.
This is one of the 7s, by the way, alongside Final Fantasy 7. Well, I was gonna say, like, there's already a baseline of, if we're saying, like, oh, this is a lock for sure, we're already stretching and leaping because we're assuming that there's going to be a new Smash Bros. With new characters anyway, you know?
I think that's I think they would have to have newcomers, even if they cut the cast. Like, if they don't have newcomers, that's going to be, like, insane.
Well, I mean, what if they do... Okay, but if they do, like, Ultimate Deluxe or Ultimate Switch 2 Edition, and they add, like, 5 new characters, but they're like, oh, this character's an assist trophy in the game already, and they add, like, the new final, or the new Fire Emblem protagonist or something...
Oh god, yeah, they might actually do that a Leer.
That's worst case scenario. But what I'm saying is, like, this is going off the assumption that there is a Smash game that's fully new with fully new characters in general. So I think if we lock in Waluigi, we're already stretching that there's going to be a Smash game. But if we're going off the assumption that there will be, I think Waluigi is a safe bet, just because of. If they want to please the most people. Like, Sakurai bias aside, the DLC characters from the Fighter Pass were chosen by Nintendo. If Nintendo marches up to him, and Nintendo requested he work on Air Riders, if Nintendo says, like, hey, we gotta add Waluigi because people really requested it last time, he could, like, drag his feet, but at the end of the day, like, he'll probably just do it.
It's not his, like, decision to make at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Waluigi is one of our,
the most up-to-date Waluigi render? I guess they keep reusing this one. If I can place this on top of everything. Yeah, I mean that doesn't look too bad. Actually, how tall is he supposed to be? Put him like back here.
15 feet tall, because Wario's 10 feet tall.
That rules. Wario's 10 feet tall?
Oh, you don't know the meme?
No. I don't know your meme.
Oh wow, you might have forgotten about it. Yeah, no, there's like an infamous game theory video where he says Wario is 10 feet tall.
Oh, where he talks about the bulge. That's awesome. They tower over us. Well, that's just gonna. We need the. Let me get the fucking. Is there anything happening here? Yes. Sorry, we missed Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Do you have any feelings about Dragon Quest?
I've played the first 3 games. I probably should keep playing them. I like them.
Well, that's after, or I guess before they announced the HD, the 2D HD versions coming to the Switch of Dragon Quest 1 through 3. Or did they already make 3 and they're doing 1 and 2? I don't remember.
I forget. I mean, it's been kind of hard to keep
Regardless,
track.
They aren't out yet.
Yeah.
So what I want to get the. I might have it. Let me switch over here real quick so I can grab some pertinent Photoshop documents. I'm sure I have. Well, let me just open up this and then grab this logo. Is this all one solid? Okay, that is. Can I make that a square though? Let me get this file. Now you can see, you're seeing behind the curtain a little bit. You can see how I play around in Photoshop. People are very judgmental. The way that someone uses Photoshop really says a lot about the person, you know?
The way somebody uses what?
Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I never really have like learned to use Photoshop like that professionally. I've always just used other stuff.
Well, that's my thing is I don't do it professionally, but like I learned how to do things my own way, and sometimes you do something and they're like, oh, why don't you just do this hotkey? And it's like, I didn't even know that was an option.
I mean, I will say, I always recommend people like when like watch videos on like ways to save time in Photoshop. You might learn things that save hours of your time straight up. Like,
let's put convert to smart object. That one I know. Quickly erase. We can okay, and then let's start that. Copy paste, and now we are back where we were. Okay, perfect. Put this little square. Match it here. Give that a drop shadow of its own. Actually, I don't think I gave anyone else a drop shadow, so I don't think Waluigi needs one. He looks weird without one, but actually, it's fine like that. That is the Switch 2 Ultra seal of approval, the guarantee from both me and Switchy that Waluigi will for sure be in the next Smash Bros. Game. And if he isn't, then we owe you money. All right, continuing the
three
direct.
times as much as you give us.
Yeah. That's a good point. Whoa, February 5th. So it seems like more often than not, when it comes to leaks or insider information, it's always third party, right? Like general rule of thumb, if you see like a 4chan or a Twitter leak and someone's like, oh, new Mario coming out, unless it's Old Spice themselves, it's probably not true. But if somebody says like, hey, there might be some Square Enix information in this direct, then their insiders are likely like a third party that know because of their involvement with Nintendo.
That seems to be pretty common. I mean, I imagine that when there's like more complicated agreements and contracts and trademark usage, I imagine there's
this is
more
fucking
ways
stupid
for that to come out. Oh, what?
The Virtual Boy.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
the
I was
hoping $100 peripheral.
Play the fucking ROM, just
there's
without giving
people
yourself
have run emulators
segment.
of Virtual Boy. Like you could just play. It's weird that it's mandatory. Okay, for those of you who aren't aware of what happened, they announced Virtual Boy is coming to NSO. And there's only like 14 Virtual Boy games, so they add all of them. I was gonna say that earlier, that when it comes to like GameCube games and even N64 games that we don't have a lot of, it's like a slow drip feed. I'm so glad that they're like, oh, all 14 of them are dropping. I think all at once. I mean, I should hope so.
They said it was going to happen over time.
That's even dumber. So this thing I don't understand, that it says you could fit it into this sold separately $100 Virtual Boy peripheral. These games do not require this much VR. Like, first of all, part of why the Virtual Boy sold poorly is that it wasn't actually portable, but another big part of it is that it gave people headaches. So I don't see how this is going to circumvent that at all. It's just going to be just as bad. And also, it works for the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. But the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 are different sizes. And
yeah, I guess it might be just big enough for the Switch 2.
And this year they say that there is a cardboard version of the Labo VR headset. I have the Labo VR headset. I imagine this is like a sold separately one, like if you want to get that Virtual Boy flourish of the cardboard. That this one is built for the Switch 1, and I imagine it's the same like Labo size if any Labo can work with it. But we see a little visual here where the Switch 2 is kind of like pouring out of it. And you're not supposed to hold it like this. Like when you're doing Labo VR, the Joy-Cons are supposed to be off and you're just looking around. You're not supposed to be holding the handles of it. So if you can move the handles, you can see it kind of like peeking out a little bit. The screen is going to be peeking out. And when I was playing Labo VR earlier this year, I was swinging my head around and my only thought was like, this is not stable at all. Like I feel like my Switch is going to fall out and just shatter on the ground. This entire thing is stupid. Like if they were like, oh, Virtual Boy games are coming to Switch, that's one thing.
I'm very pro. Yeah, I'm very pro Virtual Boy on Switch. I think that's hilarious. I think that's a great idea. But I mean, the periphery should be optional. I mean, it's not hard to. It would not be hard to create like a version of these games that can just be run 2D normally.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's well, as you said, you can literally fucking emulate it, and this is just like, I don't know. It's a dumb. I mean, this isn't gonna sell well in the first place. The only people that are gonna get it are like collectors and people who kind of enjoy collecting silly things. But the gall to do that.
I truly do not know what Nintendo has been on as of late. Maybe this is like a PS3 situation where, you know, the PS2 sold super well, so PlayStation's like, yeah, our console's $500-$600, and this was in like 2007. $600, and also it has no games for it. And also, you know, it's a completely different hardware. They got so high on their own supply, so to speak. They're like, oh, we cannot fail. We have the best-selling console. And it seems like, I don't want to equate the Nintendo Switch 2 to the PS3. Because, one, the PS3 kind of turned itself around near the end. And two, it's not like Nintendo's competition is any better. Like, when the PS3 was faffing about, it's because the 360 and even, like, the Wii were doing some crazy shit at the time. Whereas now, sure, the PlayStation and the Xbox are more powerful. But, like, if we're talking about games that they're selling, like, I don't know if there is a game other than Astro Bot that is worth buying an Xbox or a PlayStation 4. I think Game Pass as a whole is worth buying an Xbox 4, but that's neither here nor there.
Game Pass on PC, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I'm not saying, like, oh, I would rather buy a Switch 2 than those others, even though that is true. I think Bonanza is a better game than most, and I think that's worth having a console in general. But I do think they're in their era a little bit, where the Switch one did so well that they're like, we cannot fail. Let's do some fucking bullshit.
Well, one thing I'll say in response to that is that, like, let me search it up.
I think this Direct in general is just full of so much ridiculous
I mean, big popular consoles have occasionally like had stupid little add-ons. That's the thing, you know. I mean, Xbox had Kinect. Kinect was super unpopular.
That's true. I forgot the Kinect was a 360 thing first.
It was. So, like, I don't really think that this kind of side thing is indicative of any. Say a better case to be made has to do with, like, the pricing. I think $80 Mario Kart was definitely not good PR-wise. But, yeah, I don't think...
and no Mario Kart update either.
Yeah. I'm starting to be pretty convinced that we're just not going to get any Mario Kart shit. Like, I think that's just...
I guess it gives me time to unlock everything in it. Maybe I'll circle back at some point. This is the third Koei Tecmo game we saw in this, by the way. They had a lot of presence in this Direct. And this is...
They've been getting busy.
This actually is a Switch 2 exclusive, but this is also a remake of a PS2 game. Interesting dichotomy. Early 2026. Yeah, I think most of the reveals are early 2026 or springs 2026. So I would say that, like, at the earliest next Direct, well, and these are the list of games I was talking about that all are getting Switch 2 editions. I guess I'll have to add them to the list, even though, yeah, this just adds more on-screen enemies. Unless, actually, is this a multi-platform game? What is it? One Piece Pirate Warrior 4. Dude, there are game series out there that we're just not privy to at all. Pirate Warrior 4. This is on... oh, man. Yeah, okay, it says it's on Steam. So I think the Switch 2 edition, although it's going to be sold as, like, a different game, is just, like... There's no reason this needs to be a Switch 2 edition. This could simply just be like, oh, this is the game, but now on the Switch 2 it runs better. But I guess the marketing... The issue is that the Switch 2 editions are more expensive. Like, historically. So it being, oh, a Switch 2 edition, and now it just runs the way it does on Steam, it probably just...
It says Switch in the top left, so is it not a Switch 2 only game?
Well, this is the Switch 1 edition. This is the only image I could find.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
I guess it has mouse controls or something?
No, it just says... I mean, they have the thing in the Direct. This one just says more on-screen enemies. Or maybe we didn't watch all the way through. Because the other games it says, oh, mouse controls or camera controls. Like, I wouldn't want to get overcooked to Nintendo Switch 2 edition, but at least this, like, adds something, right? Camera play. Someone's fetish. Let me see. And then Stardew having mouse controls. I don't even use Stardew mouse on PC. I play this game on PC. I think 4-player local split screen is cool, though. Because you can have 4 people on an island. I think it'd be fun to do a playthrough of Stardew Valley where you're all on the island, but you're doing split screen. The opportunity to do so. I actually don't know if that is in other versions, though. Are there any Stardew experts here that, like, play it regularly that can tell me whether or not that has always been a thing? Let's see. Stardew Valley. This is sort of a weirdly nostalgic and, like, I guess homecoming for me in a way that the games they show off, 2 of the games they show off here are Stardew Valley and Human Fall Flat, because those are 2 games I got in like the first year of me owning a Switch 1, because there weren't a lot of games on the Switch 1. Like there were a ton of indie, like I got fucking Neo Geo Soccer Brawl and Brawl Out, like a bunch of Guacamelee, a bunch of shit like that, because I wanted to, okay, this is the Switch 1 edition. Because, you know, the appeal of the Switch at the time was like, oh, you can remove the controller and play with any of your friends around you. You can do so much. So I thought, okay, this is not, I'm looking for the Switch 2 edition. They might have it. I'll just use this box art, I guess. I'll know what it means. Can I just magic wand that? Okay. Well, that's as good as that's going to look. I don't want to put more time into this than I need to. That I would be at like rehearsal and be like, oh, let's play Rocket League or let's play Human Fall Flat, and I would like hand the Joy-Con off to other people in my class. And I thought that was really fun, so I purposely went out of my way to get multiplayer games like that. One of them was a Mario Tennis game. It is weird how much we're mirroring the first year of the Switch with the Switch 2. Like, almost exactly. And if that is the case, perhaps Smash Bros. Maybe. I would want to do a playthrough of local Stardew, but for like a stream thing, if at some point I could do
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. But yeah, this is like, it's just nostalgic for me, I guess. What stuff did you get early on the Switch?
Oh, not much. I mean, let me see.
Yeah. Because you can like look at the order you got stuff in.
Oh, I can? Let me see.
Yeah. Let me look through mine, actually. Power Wash Simulator.
Well, I have recently played. I don't have like order purchased or anything.
Where does it go? There's like some menu somewhere. I think I hit the C button on accident.
Maybe
I did not mean to do that.
Or something?
Show more, filter, by publisher, by shortest time played, groups. Yeah, maybe it's on the store. Let me see. I wonder what they're showing on the store. I mean, they're showing off stuff about the Direct. I guess you could pre-order. I mean, you could get the Donkey Kong DLC now. Whoa, Silk Song is out? Let me go to my character. Settings. Download. Pre-orders. I know it was on some screen when I was, like, re-downloading games to the Switch 2. I don't remember where it is. Options. Manage software. Transfer save data. Is it in transfer save? No, wait, I don't want to do that.
Date acquired oldest first. Here it is. It's in your virtual game cards. Though.
Okay. Where is the... Oh, right. It's on the...
I'm a little bit skeptical about this because... Oh, I guess it's only virtual games. That's probably why.
Okay. Well, most of mine were virtual. So let me see.
Not including...
Filter...
I have a few physical games. So my Breath of the Wild is physical. My Splatoon 2 is physical.
Date acquired.
But I have Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade 2, Fortnite, Hulu, Octopath Traveler Demo, the Mega Man Legacy Collection, Stardew Valley, Daemon X Machina, Prototype Demo.
Oh, so you have played Daemon X Machina?
No, I never played it. I just.
But you have.
Yeah, I do. I guess.
Okay.
I guess I had Final Fantasy VII on my Switch from pretty early. I guess I didn't play it for a couple years. I played it in 2020. Ace Attorney Trilogy, Tropical Freeze, Okami HD. I never played that. Cuphead. Well, that's also not including the games I've owned physically.
So my first year, I'll stop at Kirby Star Allies because I know that came out early 2018. So like Christmas 2017 to early 2018, in order, first game I played on the Switch, the first game I have on the Switch is Super Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Doom, Brawl Out, Enter the Gungeon, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Stardew Valley, Namco Museum, Pac-Man vs. Free Multiplayer Only version, Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition, Human Fall Flat, Rocket League, Celeste, Arcade Archives vs. Super Mario Bros., ACA Neo Geo Soccer Brawl, Pokken Tournament DX, and then Kirby Star Allies. And also Scribblenauts Showdown and Rayman Legends. I don't think I ever played Scribblenauts Showdown. I don't know why I have that, but I do. Let me place my Switch in a way that I won't spill all over it. Hey, but Power Wash Simulator 2, this is a game that already exists. Who cares? This game also... I don't think that... Wait, this is a new version, right? Like, not a Switch 2 edition, but this is just a sequel to it. So when a friend I made when I was at TwitchCon that fucking loved this game. I should see how they're doing. Suika Game Planet. That's why they're circular. Let me look into this. Is this an exclusive to the Nintendo Switch? Announced for Switch, Switch 2. Yeah, it's okay. Just says Switch and Switch 2. Okay, so this is an exclusive, but it's also on the Switch 1. So it's not exclusive to the Switch 2, just exclusive to the Switch family of systems. Let's put that there. Really promising games here today. Promising young games. But it's a little bit more even than I thought. Granted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these games are Switch 2 editions. So maybe we should categorize these differently. Let's put that like there, maybe. Switch 2, Switch 2, Switch 2 edition. Put that there like that. Okay. These are exclusives, and then these are games that are coming to the Switch. I'm pretty sure Fatal Frame isn't exclusive. So those are 3 new Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives that we did not know about prior. Oh, and then this fucking shit. I forgot about this. We saw this at first. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, wait a minute. This looks like... I thought it looked like Metroid Dread, honestly. Like, I thought it could be a 2D Metroid. No offense to first-person Metroid, but I'm way more excited about 2D Metroid. And I thought that idea was sick. And then we saw this, and all of the Nintendo games coming out this year rushed through my head. Kirby Air Riders, Mario Kart
Kirby
Worlds.
has a suit that looks a lot like Samus's.
It's called... What was it called? Viola? The Viola bike and the Viola suit. I saw this, I'm like, there's no way they're making another car-based game. I mean, this makes the game look fucking huge, though. Now that we know this is a part of Metroid Prime. I imagine you can only traverse this area on the bike, but this has reinvigorated my excitement, because
it's just like the wild area from fucking Pokemon.
Also, Scarlet. It's not first-person for these modes, and I kind of fuck with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not new. I mean, Metroid Prime has always kind of had, like, some third-person segments.
Yeah, ball mode is third-person.
Ball mode.
It's still weird in retrospect that they only remastered the first one. I really thought they were going to keep remastering them.
No, I was like, that's one thing that's kind of frankly disappointed me, because I really just, I
wanted an excuse to play it.
I wanted an easily accessible, in 2025 way to play Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that's too much to ask for.
It really, I thought, and there's Silux from the end teaser, and also, so I'm sure you know that during Smash Ultimate speculation, Silux's spirit was mysteriously not in the game. Now we have a release date for this game. We already knew about it, but we know it's coming out. These games are all 2026, I believe, and only Mario Tennis has a release date of February. So we know all the games coming out this year, where comes out on a Thursday, October 16th. And then we're going to talk about ZA, Gap, and then Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment comes out November 6th, which is a Thursday. Kirby Air Riders comes out November 20th, which is a Thursday. And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond comes out a Thursday, December 4th. So those are Gap weeks. So basically after ZA comes out, every other week there's a Nintendo release. It goes Hyrule Warriors, Gap, Kirby Air Riders, Gap, Metroid Prime 4, Gap. There's 2-week gap between Pokemon and Hyrule Warriors, but still, that's not that big. So that's what I mean by, like, I don't think we need another major game coming out the rest of this year. I think that's an honestly pretty decent rollout. The biggest gap we got.
I think we're in for, I think this is a good year.
I mean, the biggest gap we got to wait is right now, which is just the release for ZA, and now we have new Bonanza DLC. I still got to beat baseline Bonanza. Now I have even. Oh, I didn't know about this either. Visual retrospective. This makes it even more strange. So that they specifically reveal these separately. This new Samus amiibo is cool. The new Samus on the bike, the dildo-shaped one, is cool. And then they show off the Silux amiibo. I know Silux is not on the same level as Bandana Waddle Dee. But if we're going off the assumption that, like, hey, this character got an amiibo, they're probably an important Nintendo character. If there's a Nintendo character that got a new amiibo, and he's the main villain of Metroid Prime 4, I agree with It's Only Magic that I want Ravenbeak more, but I think it's more likely that we might get Silux, because Silux's spirit was not in Smash Ultimate, and people for so long thought that was because he was going to be a DLC character. But likely what happened is that there were some spirits that were planned for free updates that would coincide with other games. Like, when Sword and Shield came out, there were Sword and Shield starter spirit events, so on and so forth. And likely there was going to be a Silux spirit along with Metroid Prime 4, but then the game got delayed.
The
the
game just
Raven.
didn't come out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's probably safe to add Psylux to this board. Is that safe to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Do I have a more modern Psylux render? I mean, this is his Metroid Prime 4 Hunters. I added too many subtitles to that, but I mean this is the best looking one. Let's put him right next to Ravenbeak. Let's put him in front of Ravenbeak. Put him there. And then we'll have the little amiibo logo here as well. We're really filling up the board. I want to come back to this board more and more because you never know when it's going to be important. Here's the thing. Of the 4chan leak, which is silly, I mean, Deli's answer of Captain N is silly. That episode may as well just not be canon in general. But the 4chan characters are like, oh, Ring Fit character and Shadow, which Salty also said, and then Gino. I think these are actually pretty likely. Gino especially. I don't think the Fun Gang is likely, but I really want it to be true. There's no one on this board who I like vehemently disagree with other than the aforementioned Captain N. But we'll keep it there for out of respect of our friend Deli.
I have such a hard time believing Gino's gonna be. That just seems
but
like.
But look at his new render. He's got a new 3D model. He's been in Smash Bros. Speculation for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I love Gino so much. I think genuinely, if Gino was announced, I might literally cry.
Yeah,
I'm saying that.
That's how I did when Banjo got announced.
So but I guess Mario spin-off characters seem to be like off limits for even Mario spin-offs. You know what I mean? I guess that's why I struggle to see it getting like welcomed in, and it's a shame because I feel like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I argue whenever you have like a JRPG kind of person say that it's like just like a baby JRPG or whatever, I feel really bad because I feel like Paper Mario is genuinely change RPGs for the better. I think.
Do you want to add Paper Mario to this? Because I'm not opposed to Paper Mario.
I personally don't want Paper Mario in Smash Bros. But that's just because
But do you think he could be in?
I have my doubts. Yes, but I wouldn't want it anyway because of I don't know. I would rather time be spent on characters with like unique personalities as opposed to just like a version of Mario. I mean that's even if they do some cool stuff with his like character, like he has like a bunch of partners abilities and stuff. Like I don't know. I would be more excited for a character that's just like a unique, just an actual like new personality and character and self. That's all.
By the way, Twitch chat saying at least people will stop saying Samus needs to represent Dread now. Oh, don't get me wrong. Samus will have a down B counter in the next game. That's locked in for sure. That's an ultra guarantee. You could try and avoid it. You can try and run from it. But no, Samus will have a counter in that next game.
That would bum me out, though.
Yeah, it would suck, but it's going to happen.
Another character with a fucking down B counter. Like, great, fine.
I mean, to be fair,
aren't even good in Smash Bros. That's the funny part.
The way Samus controls in Smash in general is just... I can't believe I didn't clock it was Bonanza until I saw the ship, or until I saw Donkey Kong. Like, that's very clearly a banana on top of that. So you have... Let me ask you questions.
I just thought the mountain coincidentally looked like Donkey Kong.
What are the odds? Yeah, this is a weather phenomena.
Right. Just the suspiciously shaped, conveniently shaped like fucking like mountain.
What a fucking narcissist. He has an island of his own head. Let me ask you, with avoiding major spoilers, also spoilers, but I feel like it's been long enough now. The reason I ran to the end of Bonanza in the previous stream is because I saw a bunch of people posting like, oh shit, there's going to be a Mario Kart World update, and they're going to have playable King K. Rool since his voice actor is in the credits of Mario Kart World, and we still don't know who he voices. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to lie. I know about K. Rool because people were posting about it. I pretended I didn't know, and then I ran to the end of the level on stream. So, let me just ask you, without giving away too much, I'm going to go back to the 3 previous layers and then go follow K. Rool into that hole. After that, how much more is there to do to, like, fully do everything? Like, before I jump into the DLC.
When you fight Void Kong?
Yeah, like, I just beat Void Kong and then K. Rool showed up and then I stopped playing.
Okay, so you got to K. Rool coming out. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I thought, when I first saw the Golden Root, I thought that was, like, a titty. And I was, like, making a joke about how that's, like, a titty.
Milk's going to come from
oh, my God. it's literally not even like a titty. It's King K. Rool's like literal belly. I thought that was so funny. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
no. So
awesome.
K. Rool takes over. There's like one more layer, and there's like a pretty good final boss fight. A pretty like
Hmm.
multiple stages. It's great.
I didn't even
And then
notice
that's
this, by the way, in this. I think that are the bottom ones down here, are these new upgrades?
they're not. They're not.
Okay, because I filled out my entire left side. I haven't done any of the Bonanza ability upgrades, but I have
I
the left
wanted
side
to be a
full.
badass and like not do health. I didn't do like any
Mm.
health until like the last part of the game where like they like each enemy started doing like 3 hearts of damage. But
Yeah. No, I put it all in exploration. Like I'm wearing the
oh
costumes
yeah,
on me and Pauline
I
that make
maxed out
treasure chests spawn
sonar.
the
I maxed
most.
out. It's like
Yeah.
yeah no. I wanted like as many like
What is this
bananas
called?
as possible.
Because this I want to see what this
I love that fucking like picture of DK as well. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's Void Co. That's why she's dressed like that. I was like, she's dressed just like a Palico from Monster Hunter. Okay, this is
Yeah.
Void Co.
She's dressed like an
employee.
owl.
How did they know? Yeah, so like I need to go back to the burger layer and the sound layer and the one
Dude,
before that.
did you think the burger layer was like the stomach of the eel thing? That's what I thought at first. I thought we were.
Well, I mean,
eating
when we
and
got
now we were
sucked into
inside of
the
his
eel, I'm like,
stomach.
oh, we're going into his stomach, and then we spawned in Burger Town. I'm like, oh, I guess we're somewhere else now.
But then, like, it apparently it's not. It's just
Yeah,
like
I mean,
a
it
separate
doesn't
layer.
feel like it, yeah.
And it was so confusing. I'm like,
I mean, he does have a teleportation door in his
us
stomach.
out? I guess, but did he poop us out? That's what I was so confused.
This is the big Switch 2 game, by the way. Everyone's saying Mario Kart because it's a launch title. The fact that they're like, oh, this game is, one, a normal price, and two, there's a free demo on the eShop. Like, they really want people to play this game. And I think this is, if I didn't have a
Also, it's
show
like
and I
one of the
wasn't a
best games
streaming
I've played in years,
and I was
so.
still a kid, I would get the Switch 2 just for Bonanza. Like, Mario Kart,
Oh my
I'm
god, look
cool
how
with.
happy he is!
Yeah.
Ah.
I got the Yeti DK with the comedian tie to find more gold. But yeah, so K. Rool just escaped, and I got to go back to the 3 previous layers to 100% them. Once I do that, what is there still to do? What do I need to do before I jump into this DLC?
There's a whole layer of K. Rool.
Okay.
There's also post game stuff. That's the thing.
Okay.
So like
So is post game stuff you
there's-
have to go back to previous layers?
yes,
Okay.
and there's a new layer.
Okay.
It's just yeah. Sorry, I was about to like I like telling people things they don't know, so I got tempted to like give you more information.
Well, you don't gotta tell me too much, but I just want to know, like,
No.
if I wanted to.
I mean,
how hard is it to 100% the game? Would you say? Because I've already, prior to
Probably
this
not that hard.
sound layer, like the final, other than the final 3 layers, I have fully completed all the layers, like fossils and bananium gems, before me.
Even the post game of this game isn't like that hard.
Yeah, because I know there are some layers where there's bananium gems missing, like it goes from 6 to 8 immediately, like it skips over one. So I imagine
really? That's how they do it. That's
Yeah.
cute.
So I imagine there are some
but-
that you need to go back to.
Yeah, there are.
But as long as, if I can get that done, if I play 3 hours a day every Thursday, I think I could do it before ZA comes out. Hopefully I can play the DLC before ZA comes out as well. But now I got 4 weeks to do it, so let's see. This game is, again, like, I was kind of underplaying because I was more confused about what this is at all. That this is basically, and it shows it at the end,
I realized that Ditto is like is trying to like look at like its old owner, but I don't know if he knows what his old owner looks like, and that kind of breaks my little
That's
heart.
why I thought it was a
really.
I thought it was going to be Mystery Dungeon because it's like, oh shit, like we see the trainer and the Pokemon, but actually this Ditto was this trainer. But no, this is a different game altogether. This is
in the Mystery Dungeon games, like, do you come from a world where Pokemon exist, or do you just like?
I think so,
Are you
because like a
finding
Charmander comes up
out
to you and
that
you're like, holy
Pokemon
crap, it's a
exists?
Charmander.
Okay, so yeah, I forget if it's like you're supposed to be you're supposed to not even know what Pokemon are, or
Yeah.
you know what they are, and you're just like, oh my god, I'm a Pokemon now.
So this is ostensibly a Pokemon map editor or map creator. And I have said for years, I don't think I've said it publicly, but the thing I wanted the most was like a Mario Maker game, but for Pokemon. Because they sort of did that with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where you could create your own secret base and make it sort of like... Yeah, sort of make it like a gym and have trainers in it. And I've always wanted to, like, I wanted a Mario Maker game that's Pokemon, where, oh, you can create your own dungeon and your own strength puzzle. You can create your own gym and then make custom trainers in it, and then you could share them online. And I'm a little disappointed that this game is sort of a half measure, that it's seeming more like an Animal Crossing survival-esque game, where you can build maps, but there's no, to my understanding, there's no Pokemon battling in it at all.
I don't think there will be.
Yeah. So we don't know what's inside the Pokemon Center, but there's really no reason to have it. I mean, I think this is fun. Obviously, I really like Pokemon, so I like this as an idea. I just wish that there was a more dedicated... I mean, I, for years, have been dreaming of a Pokemon map editor that's like Mario Maker that you could share online and then play like custom... Like, if Pokemon doesn't want to make a top-down game, then we could have our own, sort of like 2D Mario, where we just like keep making it.
Yeah.
And up until the most of this trailer, I'm like, oh, this is like an Animal Crossing game. But the final shot, I believe, when everything is fully completed... Also, I like the idea of Pokemon coming to you. I think you gain abilities from them, but also they might just show up to your camp and become your friends. I'm glad that there are more than just Gen 1 Pokemon. And you could do interiors. Yeah, Animal Crossing Pokemon is a brilliant idea. We don't really think about how many this shot specifically. Once we see the Pokemon Center, I'm like, oh shit, like you can build... You could actually make, like, a Pokemon map. And people probably day one will, like, I recreated Pallet Town or something like that. Because I used to do that in Minecraft. There's a shocking amount of Pokemon fans that don't play the Pokemon games because they think they're, like, too difficult. Because they're, like, casual fans or, like, literal babies. This game's gonna do numbers. The fact that it's Animal Crossing Pokemon, this is, like, the casual Pokemon fans that just collect plushes and don't even play video games. Like, they're gonna fucking love this.
Yeah. I wonder though, just because I feel like there's a lot of like cozy-esque Pokemon games. I don't know how well they do. Like how well did that like cafe game do? Like I genuinely
but that's more of a mobile game. Like you're not really hanging out with Pokemon.
Well, I mean, here's another thing: are people gonna want to spend $70 on this?
That's well, I mean, maybe. I mean, Pokemon just kind of prints money, so maybe. I mean, you could say that about any game, really, but...
I guess, but, like, I don't know. I've never... I don't know, this feels like a kind of game that people don't really bat much of an eye at, you know? That's all.
I guess I should separate these as well. So this is... Okay. This is a port. New, port. Okay, so most of these are ports. Whatever, we'll just leave the Switch games alone. Leave the memories alone. Mario Galaxy 2 for all those Mario Galaxy 2 fans. One more time. Thanks for... And there's Koei Tecmo again. I like the idea of... I mean, no smoke to Game Freak. You know, they're doing their best, I guess. But...
I don't think they are.
they really should just give the Pokemon IP to other brands to use. Because the best Pokemon I've looked on the Switch have been because of Bandai Namco.
Yeah, it's true. I mean... Granted,
they outsourced... Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. But I still have a theory that was very last minute. Like, their Sinnoh game, they wanted the Sinnoh quote-unquote remake to be Legends Arceus, and then somebody got cold feet, and they're like, people are going to be upset if we don't have a traditional Pokemon game, like a traditional Pokemon remake. So they did Diamond and Pearl as a half measure and got a different company that mainly makes, like, models to do it. Also, I haven't been keeping up with, like, tracking each individual Pokemon to see, like, how many Pokemon are in this game or which Pokemon are in this game. I think they said, well, now we can jump over to Cerebi, which is where we you know, we kind of brushed over the previous time we talked about Pokemon, but I used to come to this shit, like, every day when I was a kid. I wasn't much of a Bulbapedia guy. Cerebi is where it's at. That's where I would come to. This was announced earlier today of this GameStop event that's going to have Shiny Koraidon and Miraidon. And I really like physically going to a GameStop to do an event. I don't know if they have any of this here. I think Joe Merrick was just tweeting about it on his Twitter account. Actually, let me see if I can find Joe Merrick's account. Joe Merrick is in charge of Cerebi. I think just the creator and head of Cerebi. There's nowhere that Cerebi is just one guy, but maybe it is. Maybe just a really dedicated dude. Because how much traffic do you think... These don't really... Where's the search function? I don't know where anything is on Twitter anymore. Yeah, Joe Merrick, here we go. Let's place this here. Also, just to clarify, since an idiot grifter is spreading a lie, Jesus Christ, ZA is not a new generation of Pokemon. Pokemon Home is basically running the same concept for ZA as Let's Go. That doesn't make it a new generation.
do people use the term grifter for people who like lie and make up news about Nintendo games? I thought
I
that was
mean,
like
I
just
guess,
a
right? Because that's what it is. You're getting AdSense from it. We are back to
yeah.
the times where people claim DLC is cut content. I swear the Pokemon community is like 10 years. This guy's very defensive about Pokemon. I think he said something.
Dude, honestly, if I was like really passionate about Pokemon and I maintained like a super in-depth website about it, I'd probably get sick of like hearing stupid shit about it all the time too, you know?
Misinformation.
Like
Yeah.
just like very, very, very kind of surface
Okay, here
level
we
like
go.
arguments.
Pokemon sent to Legends ZA will no longer be able to be used in prior Pokemon games. From Legends ZA will also not be able to be deposited in other Pokemon games. Okay, so what this is saying is you could transfer your Scarlet and Violet and other Pokemon into Legends ZA, but you can't I mean, you could transfer them out by putting them back in home, but you can't put them back in other games. So it's like the previous generations where if you transfer them up, you couldn't transfer them back. That's the point I was looking for. Also, at some point, I might say here, yeah. Today's trailer is listed as the final trailer, so I think that's it for reveals before ZA or for ZA before launch. Granted,
Oh,
I
that's
don't think
surprising.
I don't think a mega reveal is necessarily a trailer, but I mean, you could be
Yeah,
right.
that's the thing. Because I'm thinking like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they would kind of I mean, I guess I've never really paid attention, but I assume they still make promotional material. Like they wouldn't stop doing that a month before the game comes out. If anything, they'd speed up. You know?
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't. I might be wrong. Straight up.
Let me find the leak
I don't
you
know
sent me
anything.
like forever ago, but
Oh, I also sent you a clip
oh,
that
Rosalina in Mario Wonder.
Rosalina and Mario Wonder.
You think she's gonna be playable?
Honestly, you could have convinced me that Rosalina was already in Mario Wonder. Like straight
Yeah,
up, you
I guess
told
I
me that,
just
would've believed
forgot. Let me
you.
find the original Centro leaks list. Oh, here it is. That I mean, we reacted to this during the direct, and it's really cool that finally the Kalos Mon have their own megas. It took fucking forever, and it's crazy that even within their own game, where they are the starters. Oh, this is a different trailer also. That they did not get their own megas, and instead the Kanto Pokemon got megas. This is a completely different trailer from the one on the direct. Well, not completely different, but generally different. That we see Mega Chestnut, Mega Delphox, and Mega Greninja. I will say,
You must be getting like a headache.
me?
No, no, Mega Greninja,
Oh
because he's
yeah,
upside down.
yeah. It should have been like Malamar, where his head just grows bigger. That when I played Y for the first time, you know, the very first step into Kalos into Generation 6, I picked Fennekin because I just always picked the fire starter. And then more and more I was like, you know what? I don't really like Delphox that much. I'm moving away from it. But looking at these megas now, I do think the Delphox one is the coolest one. So I think I'm back on the Delphox train. Even though these aren't the starters in this game. So these are just other trainers' Pokemon. I'm sure you could catch them. I don't love megas, obviously, but I like the idea that every, like, named trainer has an important mega. And the more megas there are, the more important characters there will be. I think that's fun. However, these three here are not listed on this long list of things. Now, the reason we've been keeping up with this list of 26 new Mega Evolutions from March 26, 2025 is we have since seen Mega Dragonite, Mega Victory Bell, a leak of Mega Starmie. You did your mock-up for Mega Clefable. Editor put up Mega Clefable. And also your mock-up for Mega Meganium. I did Mega for Alligator. We have since seen, I did a mock-up for Mega Excadrill, and you did one for Chandelure. Oh, fuck, I didn't. Okay, you said during the direct reaction, or someone did, that like, oh, wait.
I forgot,
Okay,
I'll be honest.
so I was about to say, like, oh, this is a smoking gun. But no, these are in the list. Okay, so never mind. This list is still accurate. We've seen Mega Halucha. There was that one leak of Mega Dragalge. I think you also sent that to me. If I could open up this link right here. Yeah, this image. It doesn't look that impressive in this image, but I will say that it has the little glowing effects that most of the new Megas seem to have. And you brought this up in the direct, how they sort of
like have this rainbow glow about
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. So that makes it like stand out as probably true even more. The fact that it's clearly just like the model itself, so the lighting engine isn't applied, which is why it looks weird. So all we aren't aware of so far, I did a mock-up of Mega Pyroar, and we have since seen Mega Malamar. So the only ones in play or in the ether are Skarmory, Frostlass, Emboar. We could assume Emboar for Alligator Meganium because those are the starters. Now, Stallings as well. and then the important characters of Mega Zygarde and Mega Eternal Flower Floette. So, if we were, like I said, there are 4 more installments, let's say, of Switch to Ultra, or there will be 4 more Mondays between now and the release of Pokemon Legends ZA. Even if they still reveal 1 a week, there will still be some that are in the game that we don't know about. So let's say like Clefable, Starmie, Skarmory, and then Frostlass. That's still only 4. So although Joe Merrick seems to believe that this might be the final trailer, I think it's still likely that we could get a Mega every Thursday. Granted, the Megas we've been getting... The Megas we've been getting every week do show up in a little sizzle thing here. Like right here. So it's probably leading up to this direct. So maybe they won't show anymore. Because these are the 3, right? Hawlucha, Victory Bell, Malamar. And then Dragonite was in the previous trailer. Maybe not. I hope this isn't the full list. I mean, it likely probably is. Because this is from a build that was leaked in the giant Game Freak leak earlier this year. Or was that late last year? Boy, time flies.
I wonder if the game would have DLC. Oh no, there is going to be.
It
DLC.
Does have DLC. Well, that's the thing is that Raichu isn't on that list. We can get to that.
Yeah, so actually there might be some more Megas in the DLC then.
It's kind of disappointing that I mean, I'm glad. I hope it's a different location altogether, because the appeal of Legends ZA, of Legends Kalos game, is that Kalos has so many unanswered questions, and clearly they plan to have a sequel or a third mode or DLC for that game that just never came to fruition. And Hoopa showing up here, damn, look at that confident ass look. Look at this confident teenage Latina looking to ruin your ego with just a look. You remember that?
Yeah.
Hoopa's like an important character then. Oh, thank you. I wanted to make sure you didn't think I was just saying that for no reason.
Like saying some
some psychotic shit. That Hoopa specifically, I think the game is a little restricted by just being in Lumio City. So I think it's a little cheap to have, by the way, Taco vindicated. I've agreed with the Taco take for months now. I never disagreed with him. I just want to make that clear that everyone's like, this guy's a fucking idiot. He thinks every Mega is an X or a Y. I agree. I saw that for the first time. I'm like, you know what? That's true. The fact that they're planning paid DLC and the game isn't even out yet is a little annoying. However, if it's based on Hoopa Dimensions, right? You go through the Hoopa Hoop and it's called paid DLC Mega Dimension. I hope it's not just Lumio City again. I hope it takes you somewhere else. Also, I think it might be additional images or maybe just this trailer that we see the underground of Kalos a little bit. This trailer, to a certain point, seems more or less the same. I don't think this bit was in... Was that Flower Floette thing in the Nintendo Direct trailer?
I don't know, but I know the Zygarde.
Oh, there's a pre-order bonus with Mega Ralts.
That's also
Raltsonite.
new. Yeah.
That there's more
Pokeballs?
story bits before. Do we have... Oh, Panseer mentioned. I wonder if we have on Cerebi a list of... Can I look up, Legends, ZA, Pokedex? Available Pokemon. Okay. So this is what we've seen. I gotta zoom out because this is not... Stream cannot see this. Okay, well, let me zoom in, actually. Charmander, Charmeleon, Wartortle, Charizard obviously has a Mega. Beedrill has a Mega. So we can assume every line with a Mega has it. Pidgeot has a Mega. Arbok doesn't, but we've seen Ekans. Now we know Raichu does. Mega. There is a Mega Alakazam, right? With the spoons.
Yeah. And the beard.
Yeah, Mega Machamp. Sorry, there isn't a Mega Machamp. There is a Gigantamax Machamp. We're assuming Machamp is in the game because of the Hawlucha fight. Mega Victory Bell. I don't think there's a Mega Slowbro.
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah. It's the upside down shell.
Right. Is there a Mega Gengar? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes, there are. Yes, there is.
I can't discern
Shadow
Megas
Tag.
from Gigantamax sometimes. Okay, Onix. Kangaskhan has a Mega. We have to assume Starmie does as well. Scyther, Pinsir, Gyarados. There's a lot here. So it'd probably be easier to make a list of Pokemon that aren't featured here. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Oyster.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Probably Dragonite.
All right, well, Dragonite. Give me another one. Which is like a favorite Pokemon?
Lopunny.
Interesting. Well, there's Lopunny because Lopunny has a Mega.
Yeah.
Let's go to actually. I wonder how many when the buck stops. Because if there is going to be a fall links, these are just okay. So there's no, these are all from Kalos. So
Yeah.
If there is Mega Fall Links, we have to assume there are later Pokemon that are going to be in this.
Phalanx is Galar.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like it cuts off after Kalos. There's no Alolamon here, and there's no Galarmon, and there's no Paldeanmon.
Well, there's the only Alolamon that's revealed that's I guess leaked to be in or like have a Mega in X and ZA is Drampa. So.
Yes, and we have Galar Fall Links. So maybe there'll be more. I just wanted to look at the list because I actually hadn't circled back, and we got our monkey trio. I'm legitimately considering having my team be like Tepig and then the 3 monkeys, assuming that we can get all 3 of them in the game. And a Petrat. You know what? I'm doing a full Unova team. And then Sableye. Of course I gotta have Sableye. I used to do that as a kid, like, because the games, before they had worldwide releases, they would have, like, dedicated walkthroughs in Japanese, like, before the game came out. So I would plan my team before the game came out. Like, and then I'd be like, oh, that's the team I'm gonna have. And I'm doing it again.
Who bought the games early on, like, Play Asia or whatever.
I've been over on the BHultra Patreon. I've been watching through Total Pokemon Islands. There's enough people requested it, and it's set after. Well, part of it is after Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out in Japan, but before it came out in America. So I think legitimately Nicky Nord conditioned me to want a Totodile because of how often it appears in multiple of his shows.
Oh, really?
And this is Danganronpa. This is new, right? Like I know it's a remake, but.
Well, Danganronpa 2 came out.
It's called like 2x2.
Yeah, I think 2x2. I guess is like an alternate story or something.
Okay, 2x2. This isn't okay. Is this today? This is okay. Danganronpa 2x2 announced for PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, Switch, and PC. So not only is it not exclusive to the Switch 2, it's also not even exclusive. Like it's gonna be on Switch 1 as well. Baby, 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 baby. That's Persona. But I'll put it on the list. It was announced at the very least. I'm sure there's a bunch of these that are like multi-plats, like especially Mortal Kombat. I do think we should separate a little bit in the Nintendo releases, but that's only really Tomodachi Life and Mario Galaxy. Those are the only like Nintendo announcements. Everything else is Switch 2. It's less lopsided than I thought. Do you think that Rhythm Heaven will come out early 2026 like Tomodachi Life, or do you think the reason we don't know anything about it is because it's going to come out later 2026?
I think it's going to come out a little bit later.
Okay. What do you think the latest Nintendo Switch 1 game will be? Or what do you think, when do you think it will be?
Early 2027.
Okay. That's when they'll stop supporting Switch 1 and they're like, all right, now you guys have a Switch 2.
I think that's when they'll probably kind of like be over it. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, when was the last 3DS game? Like 2019, I think.
Yes, it was Bowser's Inside Story remake, right?
Yeah, something
which is
like
a remake of a game you could already play on the 3DS.
Yeah, I wonder why that didn't sell well. Wow.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, fucking. What is it called? Mercury something. Or is it Mercury Stream, or is that a different company? I think Mercury Stream. That's where the company liquidated. It went bankrupt.
Oh, that was Alpha Dream.
Oh, it was Alpha Dream. My mistake.
Yeah.
Dynasty Warrior Origins paid DLC. So Dynasty. Okay. Dynasty Warrior Origins. When did this game come out? This game came out, January 2025. Okay, release for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X. So is this game not even on the Switch too? It is. Okay, it is. And now there's DLC. So this is like a new announcement if you like Dynasty Warriors, but it isn't like, oh, this game is coming to the Switch. I don't know if this is the announcement that the game is coming to the Switch 2 and then also DLC, or if the game was already on the Switch 2 because it was on other consoles that came out in January, and it also is getting paid DLC. And if it is getting... Oh, this isn't even out yet. Okay. If it is paid DLC, I imagine it's multi-platform paid DLC anyway. I know we already saw this. I forget what it was. It's Monster Hunter Stories.
This one actually looks fun. The writing mechanic looks pretty cool.
Have you ever played a Monster Hunter game?
No.
I think I had one. It was after the 3DS was like in rotation, but I got one for the 3DS and then never really played it. And then the first big like, oh, this Monster Hunter is coming to the Switch was Monster Hunter Rise, and it may have been a Switch exclusive. And the appeal of Monster Hunter to me is like multiplayer, even though I haven't been able to pull it off. So when I lived in California, I played Monster Hunter Rise with my roommate Ryu for like a couple days, and then we dropped it. And then this year, the new big like open world, Capcom's biggest step in the Monster Hunter series, Monster Hunter Wilds came out. And I also played that with Ryu a little bit, or at least we tried to. Apparently playing online is really annoying. But this year, Monster Hunter Wilds is the most like I've actually tried to get into it, like regular dedicated, like 10 plus hours into Monster Hunter. So I wouldn't consider myself a fan, but I'm trying to be. Granted, Monster Hunter Stories is like a spin-off that I don't really care about. Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. Okay. I imagine because this is like a stories game and it's like a weird spin-off, it probably might be a Switch exclusive. Okay, so they have this website and they got a bunch of shit going on here. Yeah, turn that shit all off. Oh, Twin Rathalos. I didn't even know that was Rathalos. Okay. Dude, and people can say what they want about Smash not having an effect on anything, but playing Monster Hunter Rise for the first time, the most I popped off is when the Rathalos theme started playing, and then because even before Rathalos showed up, I'm like, that's the Rathalos theme. Like, this is the one monster I know. Okay, release date trailer, March 13th. Okay, so this is cross-platform, but it isn't out yet. So that is a new announcement. I'll count it. Monster Hunter Stories. Let me grab this image. Yeah, there we go. I'll count this as cross-platform game that's coming to Switch 2, because it is also coming to Switch 2. Back to the Direct. That's still evened out a little bit. Okay. Close that. Open this. Open the wrong thing. Back to the Direct. That it's one of those series that it's seemingly like, I mean, we're going to see Resident Evil at the end of this Direct. And you could argue that that is like Capcom's ace in the hole. Like that is the main Capcom game. I know people have always said like, oh man, Capcom's all Mega Man, but no fucking way. Like in the modern age, they only make Resident Evil and Monster Hunter games and Street Fighter, more or less. So I think I would say Monster Hunter's their number 2, like next to Resident Evil, because Resident Evil is the big seller. I was noticing that a lot of these are just Sega games, but these are cross-platform games that are coming to the Switch too. And there's the couple slop we talked about on a previous installment of Switch 2 Ultra.
Couple slop, yeah.
I mean, I'm glad. I mean, it seems like a game built for the Switch. Like, it makes way more sense to play it like that. Maybe I will play it. Maybe I'll do it on my own time. Now that I'm in a couple slop myself. Persona 3 Reload. You were talking about this.
Something of a couple slop myself.
That, What do you think about Monster Hunter and Smash Bros? I guess is what I wanted to ask you.
Well, I guess the question is who's the character going to be. I think I heard people kind of speculating that it's just going to be like a basic protagonist character.
Yeah, Monster Hunter.
Maybe. I don't know.
My thing
That's the main thing.
I think Monster Hunter already has a connection because they had, a meat costume in Smash 4 and a boss fight in Smash Ultimate. And I think Smash Bros. Tries to veer away from mature characters to not affect the rating of the game. However, like I said, I mean, Capcom has Mega Man and Street Fighter and Smash Bros. Already. If they wanted like a third series in the game, technically Resident Evil is their most popular series. And their most popular series not in Smash Bros. It's just a matter of if we would get, are we Team Monster Hunter or are we Team Leon Kennedy?
I'd rather it be a Resident Evil character because I mean, to my knowledge, I don't really feel like Monster Hunter has many like key popular personality characters in the same way Resident Evil does.
Yes.
I mean, you could have Chris, you could have Jill Valentine, Leon. I mean, I think Resident Evil, if anything, I think Resident Evil has a better chance and would be more fitting to being a Super Smash Bros. Character as we know them.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I agree because when it comes to mature characters, whenever people talk about like Master Chief or Doom Guy, They're always like, oh, he doesn't have to use his guns. He could just like be a brawler, a grappler, because that's what Snake is like, right? Snake doesn't really use his weapons as much as he like punches and kicks. And for any
like
mature character, that makes the most sense for Leon, because he literally does just mostly do melee attacks.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, just put his roundhouse kick. That could be his jab. Like, I think Monster Hunter's more likely, but I think Leon is more exciting.
Interesting, yeah.
We'll leave the chart as is for now until we can come to a consensus. Get a couple Monster Hunters under your belt so you can hop on the Monster Hunter train. It's weird that it didn't get any DLC by now. I feel like it should have. I mean, it got like costumes or whatever and integrations, but I didn't do the post game of it, so maybe I'll go back and play it. And then this is the thing that was puzzling us for a while. That it is just... I mean, this is... If you care about games being playable on the Switch 2, this is a big deal. That Resident Evil 9 is not only coming to the Switch 2, but also got a trailer exclusive to this Direct. That, I mean, this is an upcoming new Resident Evil game. And I guess we could say it's another cross-platform that's coming to the Switch 2. Again, it's not as exciting because it's not like an exclusive. In the GameCube era, they had some Resident Evil exclusives because they were trying to bolster their mature rating. And at the end of the day, it is a game we've seen before. Again, even if it's not exclusive, as long as it was a new game, it would be exciting. And a new trailer is always exciting. And seeing Resident Evil 7 come to the Switch alongside Final Fantasy 7 and Dragon Quest 7, just like our good friend over at Switchforce said, the triple sevens. I can't believe that was real, by the way. So I guess that is a person that is to be trusted. That's what I wanted to say earlier, is when we're saying, like, oh, most of the information is third parties. When Nate the Hate said, like, oh, a Direct's coming, and then it was a partner Direct, and everyone's like, this isn't a Direct. It's like, well, that's probably... Like, that's the information they get. They probably work with third parties. Or they have some kind of informants.
They probably heard someone... Their sources probably told them that there was going to be a presentation that day. I wouldn't be surprised.
And they don't know the
see
differentiation.
A guy with actual sources, like, getting that information.
Yeah. So for right now, it's just Nate the Hate and Switchforce. So we'll have to keep eyes on them, keep tabs on them for now. And obviously, follow Joe Merrick for all of your Pokemon information. We didn't really talk about Mega Raichu X and Y. I'm glad.
I'm okay with it. I'm not super passionate one way or the other. I like
glad...
seeing the very schlocky kind of X and Y patterns, though. I'm happy with that.
I'm glad it's Raichu because they were. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Pokemon to
like some Mega Pikachu.
Yeah,
shit. That
Mega Pikachu. Me. Yeah. I like Raichu way more, and I think the reason I like Raichu so much is because he's not as popular as Pikachu. This is the final announcement of the Direct. I mean, I don't dislike Resident Evil. Maybe I will play this one because, you know, like I said, I played the new Street Fighter and I played the new Monster Hunter, and they only come out every couple years, so I want to be caught up on these series. I mean, these are popular series that people really like, so I want to be, like, up on it and play them, like, regularly. I want to be a part of it. I like playing new games. Some years I'm like, oh, I'm going to play all the major releases this year, and then there's just simply too many. But these major games like this, Capcom is adjacent to Nintendo. You know, there's that Smash sphere in general. But I think that's all we have to say about the Nintendo Direct.
I think so, yeah.
So what we have here is a list of all of the things announced. Some of these are not new. Mortal Kombat is not new. Technically, Tomodachi Life isn't new. So you know what? Actually, let me remove some of this stuff. Because if I didn't count the games that we already knew about on Switch 2, some of these are Switch 2 editions. These games are coming. This is... Okay, so Linked is a game that's already out. So let me move these. Linked is a game that's already out. That's now coming to the Switch. Stormlancers, I think, also is. I don't know. Maybe these look like new games. Suika Game is also looks like a new game. That Danganronpa is a remake. I guess we'll put remakes here. Well, if we're doing that, technically this is a port as well. So not as much on the Switch 1 side. Granted, Tomodachi Life is a huge game, and it's likely going to be very big. Put Danganronpa there. We don't know any more information about Rhythm Heaven. I would say that maybe Rhythm Heaven... I mean, granted, you know, we got information on Metroid and Pokemon, and those are also coming out on the Switch 1. So a lot of the games are sort of convergent. That it doesn't, because all of these games on the left we could play on the Switch too. So the categorization, the differentiation doesn't really matter as much. But it seems like new Nintendo games that aren't like Switch 2 editions, although the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition looks interesting, is a new Mario Tennis, a new 2D Yoshi game, a new weird Pokemon spinoff, and Fatal Frame. This mirrors the first and second year of the original Switch a lot. You know, Mario Tennis, 2D Yoshi, weird Pokemon spin-off that people don't really like because it's not mainline Pokemon. I think it's possible that a February or March direct next year could like lead us in through the rest of the year. I was kind of thinking like, oh shit, this is an hour-long direct. Maybe they're going to show off an entire slate of 2026 because they realize like people didn't really fuck with the 2025 game, so they really need to light a fire under someone's ass. I don't think there's a big like I think any console is worth buying for a good game. You know, I got the PS5 so I can play Astrobot. I have the Switch too, and I'm playing Bonanza. I mean, for me, at the very least, it is. At least when I'm, like, streaming games. But for the average consumer, I don't know if the Switch 2 is, like, worthwhile yet. I should hope that in the next year we're going to get major releases. I mean, I hope this Yoshi game doesn't get delayed 2 years like Yoshi's Crafted World did. We haven't heard anything about Woolly World. Let me look into this, if it's still... I wonder if I look up Woolly World on Twitter, if it's still going to have the original image. This is mostly fan art. But you know what I'm talking about, right? That Woolly World was spotted in the background of that one Switch 2 edition screen. That's sizzle reel. I forgot about that. Yeah. But it was the 3DS version. It could easily have just been a mistake.
They just use it as a placeholder or something?
Yeah, maybe they chose the wrong one, but keeping tabs on Old Spice, keeping tabs on Joe Merrick, on other leakers. On those megas, the mega list has been correct so far. But I think that is the final singular Nintendo Direct of the year, and we covered it in full. And now I am tired, and I think I'm ready to go to bed after this. Do you have any final thoughts about this Nintendo Direct?
I'm pissed off about the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 port.
There's a lot to be pissed off. Wait a minute. Sorry, actually, there was another announcement I totally forgot about.
Oh yeah, there was the last game.
Yeah. Our one final thing.
You had nothing to say about it. And you just.
I mean, I do have nothing to say about it, but I think I should have you say something about it. I totally forgot. I genuinely forgot that happened because the Resident Evil thing does feel like the final game. All right, let's hop back over.
I'll be honest. I've already forgotten what the final thing was.
Well, it's a series you've played before.
Oh, it's the Fire Emblem game. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
so you.
It's interesting.
You got 4 minutes.
Be, like connected to 3 houses in some way, but. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not really super.
But you
excited.
are a Fire Emblem fan, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I didn't play Engage. Engage just looks stupid to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess there's like a certain cynicism I have about Fire Emblem because when Engage was announced and they said that like one of the what's the word? One of the kind of features was like summoning old legendary heroes. That kind of pissed me off. Like, I'm so tired of Fire Emblem doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But. To be fair, like I thought 3 Houses was one of the best games in the series, so you know.
Oh, what the hell? Sorry, I just got additional information because I was scrolling. This is what? Okay, so these seem like additional promotions. Sorry, we'll circle back to Fire Emblem real quick. Let me go to my bookmarks. This here, it says I don't know where this. I imagine it's from the website. Megastones obtainable as promotion rewards. So there's Ranked Battles Season 1 that starts October 16th, and you earn Greninjite from it. And then after that Season 1, or following Season 1, you can win Delphoxite, and then after Season 2, you can get Chestnut Knight. So I don't know how long Season 1's gonna run, but I said the game launches October 16th, right? Are these competitive online battles? Yeah, the game comes out the 16th, so saying that that's even like a week or so, that means you can't get Mega Delphox or Mega Chestnut for a while. Like if they're time-based as opposed to progression-based. That's very strange. What do they mean seasons? They're promoting ranked battles every month or so. Do you have to win ranked battles to earn these? Or maybe you could just find them around the map. I don't know. I'm coping. I think that's stupid. Sorry. Continue with Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts about... well, actually, one thing that's weird, like, there are things about this that make it not feel like a Fire Emblem game. Like, I don't know what that fucking creature just was that the person was writing.
That weird fucking thing.
That weird fucking thing. Some shit. Like before we saw the kind of gameplay, I wasn't sure if it was a Fire Emblem game or not. It looks pretty reminiscent of Three Houses. It could be interesting.
I know I joked about it in the direct, but this dude just looks exactly like Alucard, like almost exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, admittedly, you know, they kind of make these Fire Emblem characters in a factory. It's like, oh, a serious guy with like gosh armor. Like, oh wow, dude.
Because I think I played the one for the Game Boy Advance because, you know, I played Smash Bros. And that was like, oh, I want to see what Roy's up to. But beyond that, I haven't really played one substantially. I don't love the modern art style, you know, because it doesn't really feel, I mean, I'm sure it does feel like Fire Emblem, but it feels not differentiated enough. Whereas the GBA games, you could tell they were Fire Emblem games.
There was something really nice, I think, about the visual presentation of the GBA games, and as like, you know, I feel like sometimes the visuals of the series feel a bit homogenized in 3D.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe I'll start with this one, or maybe I'll get John in here and I'll do a let's play and watch him play it, because we don't have. What's it called? Sorry, Fire Emblem. And
that at the end when that character you see is Sothis, who is a character.
Well, she was in the Byleth presentation, right?
Yeah. She's kind of like,
What's it called again? Sorry.
She's like the Morgana of like fucking Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Okay, so she's only shown up at Three Houses prior.
Yeah.
Okay, Fortune Weave of Fate. That's not what it is. Okay, GameSpot. Okay, may tie back into Three Houses. No, I want to know. Okay, it just says 2026. All right, that's what I was waiting for. So we don't have a release date for that, but the slate of games is the same. I assume summer. Yeah, the slate of games is the same since the start of the year. It's still going to be Pokemon, and then Hyrule Warriors, and then Kirby Air Riders, and then Metroid Prime 4. And those are the last 4 games we have throughout the year. I'm sure we have other sort of tie-ins, but let me check over on this document. What was I? Yeah. September Direct. No, these are mostly 2026. Yeah, I mean, DLC is cool. It is strange that there is no Mario Kart World DLC. But
I mean, maybe it'll come out later, but I'm getting more and more pessimistic about it.
I
guess
really
there was that whole like King K. Rool voice actor in the game.
Yeah,
so
and I think Void Kong also has a voice, or their voice actors in the credits. But again, I hope it. I mean, the game's already $80. I really hope it isn't paid DLC. I hope it's like a Mario Tennis Aces situation where they just roll out free characters slowly over time. Because beyond that is annoying, considering how expensive the game already is.
Yeah, exactly.
Drop this. Well, that's basically all we needed to cover today. This emergency episode following a Direct. I imagine we'll do it again after there's another full Nintendo Direct. But for right now, not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after that, we'll return for Switch 2 Ultra. So hopefully nothing that important happens between. I can't imagine they will. 24 is still going to be 24. Maybe one of these weeks will double up because we did miss that 1 week. We've only been 1 week off since like March 31st.
Yeah.
But we'll circle back. At least now I've thrown the veil to the side and say, like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about Smash Bros. Every time a character comes up and we're like, this might be a new Smash Bros. Like, this is an important Nintendo character. It's worth putting on the board. We got to pit Ravenbeak and Psylocke against each other. But as of right now, I've been your co-parent, BHultra.
And I've been your co-parent, Switchy.
And I'm hanging up, and then I'm going to bed. Need an outro song for this. Do I have one? Oh yeah, fucking Mario. We didn't really talk about Mario 10. Whatever. Oh, wait, hold on. I was about to go off the air. Wait, they're saying... Streets are saying Mako Mermaids is back. Is it? I mean, it is. It's still claimed, but... Wait, it still says restrictions. I guess people can still see it. Go watch the Mako Mermaids video! I'm going to bed.